Chapter 3851. The dragon is so proud that we really don't have to suppress the leader? Xiaqin hesitated. Colorful supreme blood and archaic purple blood. Dragon Outyin is now as strong as a monster. He is worried about dragon dust. Don't worry too much. The strength of Long Chen is absolutely beyond your imagination. Besides, the battle between him and Long Outyin is a battle of destiny. It's not convenient for us to intervene. With the pride of Long Chen, we are not allowed to help, so let's do what we should do. Emoniandao. He knows Long Chen too well. Although he doesn't spend as much time with Long Chen as Guoran and Xiaqin, as an expert, he can sense the terror of Long Chen. Therefore, no matter how terrible Long Outyin is, he is not worried about Long Chen. Emonian with the public continue to explore those coffins. With the first successful experience, they cooperate with each other, everything becomes relaxed. What shocked them was that these coffins, in every coffin, had a horrible living creature. Although the soul was dead, the flesh was lifelike and terrifying, which made people dare not approach. Guoran is responsible for the sentry, and Xiaqin is responsible for collecting the qi of chaos. If you can collect the qi of chaos, you should collect it and take it away as far as possible. After all, taking this thing out is priceless. After all, it's not yet time for chaos to gush. If you want to absorb it, it's time to absorb it. Moreover, if too much chaos is absorbed, once the crown of the heavenly way begins to manifest, it will not be able to fight again. We must find a quiet place to shut up until the crown of the heavenly way is completely formed. Otherwise, once we miss the best opportunity, we will never be able to condense the Tiandao crown in our life. Therefore, people dare not absorb too much chaos, especially Guoran, who dare not move at all, for fear that when the critical point is reached, we must close the door to gather Wang Mian. This is not the time. Xiaqin inhaled most of the chaotic qi into the seal script, leaving only a small amount of chaotic qi, which was directly absorbed by the body. Emonian fully shows what is professional and dedicated. All the things in the coffin are wiped away by him, and even some of the hairs and scales of living creatures will be removed by him. Not to mention, the weapons and armor of these creatures are very precious. Emonian is also very particular about them. In addition to some things that he can use, the rest are given to Xiaqin. In his words, if he takes over, the next time the virtuous and smoking master will be taken away by him. The so-called fat water does not flow into the field of outsiders, so it will be given to Xiaqin. After all, the Dragon Blood Legion has just reunited and needs some treasures to arm the Legion. Summer Morning is full of admiration for Emonian. You know, these weapons of living creatures can frighten people to death just by their breath. This is definitely the existence of the realm artifact. However, Emonian gave them all without blinking their eyes. This kind of heroic spirit is admirable. Unfortunately, these terrible artifacts have no spirit. There are countless runes on them, but they are dim and dim. Without them, these runes cannot be activated and their power cannot be exerted at all. But it's hard for Summer Morning. In the future, they can cultivate new spirits and inject them into these artifacts. Then they can make these horrible artifacts see light again. Weapons can be taken, but Emonian dare not move the corpses. He has an intuition that these creatures are not really dead, they are just sleeping and may wake up at any time. They have explored more than a dozen coffins in succession. All the creatures they meet come from different races, and none of them are alike. The more people search, the more frightened they are. These creatures are terrifying. Approaching it makes people's soul tingle. If they are alive, how strong are they going to be? However, such powerful creatures are all killed. Their bodies are full of fatal wounds. Those wounds are shocking, as if they are telling what level of terrorist war they have experienced. Boom boom. While Emonian and others are secretly exploring, the battle between Long Chen and Long Outyin is becoming more and more fierce, which has already entered the white heat. Both Long Chen and Long Outyin are stained with blood. The dragon dust move is powerful and heavy. Every move will do its best without leaving any hands. Meanwhile, Long Outyin is also doing his best. His fist comes and claws go, and every blow is breaking the sky and the ground. Both of them are beginning to get hurt. From the beginning to now, the two men have been fighting fiercely for 3 hours, but now, such a stormy attack, without a bit of pause, the two men's moves more and more fierce, more and more fierce. Boom, hiss, a punch hits Long Aotian's chest, and his chest collapses. When the sound of bone fracture comes, Long Aotian spits out blood. And Long Aotian's sharp claws are also grasped on the arm of Dragon Dust, which is hard to be seen on the arm of Dragon Dust. 5 blood tanks are seized and bones can be seen. The two exchanged a move and were injured at the same time, but both of them did not blink and killed each other again. My power of light is endless. No matter how many times I hurt, I can repair it. How long can you last? Long Aotian fought fiercely and stopped drinking. His collapsed chest slowly puffed up. After several breaths, he regained his original appearance. The power of recovery was amazing. It's better to care about yourself. If you have any last words to leave, think about it first. Dragon Dust hums coldly. Before, he competed with Yin Changxing for Fusang Ancient Wood. He seized the crown of the tree. On the crown, millions of corpses were thrown into the black soil. In today's chaotic space, the air of chaos is diffuse, and the power of life is infinite. The wound on Long Chen's body is nothing at all, and can be restored as much as possible. Other people all looked silly. 2 people not only strength terror, even the recovery speed is also so abnormal, like immortal body. Long Chen, you idiot, you are still so conceited. You don't know when you are dying. My card. Pa. Just as Long Aotian was talking and fighting fiercely, Long Chen slapped him in the face with an unpredictable slap on his face. Before Long Aotian finished speaking, he was slapped by Long Chen. The slap of the Dragon Dust took the Dragon Aotian away, and his face was full of disdain. You are the idiot. Even if you steal my spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone, what will happen? How much can you play? You want to defeat me in my strongest place. In fact, you are not as powerful as I am, not as fast as I am, and my reaction to close combat is not as good as mine. I am even throwing you 8 blocks away from my combat experience. In addition to bragging and bragging, I really don't know where you are better than me. The worm is the worm. Even if you steal other people's talent, you don't want to become a giant dragon. Your father and mother are shameless thieves. The so-called dragon begets a dragon and a phoenix begets a phoenix. A mouse's son can make a hole, a cat gives birth to a cat, and a dog gives birth to a dog, and the thief's son has 3 hands. You are a group of thieves, and you can only do some shady business in the dark. You should remember that the strong is the strong, and you will not covet other people's talents. But you are just a clown. If you put a dragon's robe on a monkey, you can't pretend to be the emperor. Long Chen's words, like a poisonous arrow, pierced into the soul of Long Aotian and hurt the weakest place in his heart. You fart. I want play with you. I'll die. At that moment, the face of Long Aotian was distorted. Suddenly, a big hand waved and a 5-color flag appeared in his hand. Long Aotian offered his own weapon. As soon as the weapon came out, the divine power was surging, and the fierce pressure swept the sky. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3852. It was a terrible weapon. The flagpole was 3 feet long, just like a big gun. The whole body was wrapped in black and white. When the flagpole shook, the sky roared, and the flag spread out. On the triangular flag, there were 5 blank runes. As soon as the 5 blank runes appeared, the runes on Long Aotian's hands, feet and eyebrows were separated from him and inlaid in the blank space of the flag. When the 5-element rune is inlaid on the big flag, the flag seems to come alive, and the 5 elements' power tears the sky. This is the dragon family ancestor personally created for me, the sun and moon 5-element flag. Today, your life is about to end in front of it. With a roar from the dragon, his long hair was flying and his flagpole was waving. He rolled the power of the sky and ran straight to the Dragon Dust. At that moment, the power of the whole world seemed to be drained by the 5-element flag of the sun and the moon, and the heaven and earth would be crushed and exploded. Choking Minghong Dao comes out of its scabbard. The stars flow on the long Tao, and 999 stars light up rapidly. In a moment, dragon dust attaches all the forces that lead the stars into the body onto the long Tao. The fourth form of opening the sky. The two magic weapons were cut together. The lifelong efforts of the two peerless strong men all gathered on this blow. Either you die or I die. If you fail, you will become benevolent. Boom! The divine sound is rumbling, penetrating clouds and rocks, and the endless divine light turns into a sharp sword, penetrating the void and shooting at all directions. Not good, Yin Changsheng and others were shocked, and they put forward shields in succession. As a result, their reaction was still a step slower, and they were fiercely oppressed, and they came forward with sharp swords. Puff, puff, puff. Countless demons and the powerful people of the holy Dan Hall burst into blood mist in an instant under the pressure. In front of the power of destroying the heaven and the earth, they are as small as ants, and have no strength to struggle. Boom, boom. The sword pierces the sky, and the way of heaven collapses. The whole world is interwoven with terrible cracks, flames crisscross, and lightning flies. It is a scene of extinction. Then there was a startling explosion. The world in front of us broke down and the endless runes of time and space were flying. Everyone was involved in the turbulence of time and space, and the picture in front of me was constantly distorted. When the picture calms down, the place of the celestial burial has disappeared. Looking around, it has turned into a desert. The small world of the heaven burial place is burst by the dragon dust and the dragon Aotion. The burial ground disappeared, but the skyline was still there, and the bronze tripod was also there, and the coffin connecting the bronze tripod was floating in the sky. They'll go. It's dangerous. Xia Chen and others slowly probe out of the coffin and see the disappeared world, which makes their scalp numb. Fortunately, they hid in the coffin, and the outside power did not affect them, and they survived the attack without fear or danger. But Yin Changsheng and Corpse Tsai's faces are not so good-looking. They have brought so many strong people. Now only a few hundred people have survived. They were careless. They didn't turn on the protection in advance, and the pressure of terror was overwhelming. When they reflected that it was too late, they only had time to protect the people around them. Tens of thousands of strong men, all of whom were Supreme Tianjiao, were destroyed in an instant. Corpse Plague and Yin Changsheng were frightened and angry. They could not even protect their own men. This was a naked slap in the face. What makes them most angry is that Long Outyin and Long Qin didn't even look at them. They didn't know what happened outside. Boom! Dragon Dust and Dragon Outyin, two weapons against each other, endless air wave wrapped two people. Two people are still trying to suppress each other. At this time, two people, long hair flying, blood entangled, two people's whole body is blurred. The most terrible is that there are countless cracks on the two people, blood along the crack exudes, broken by the vigorous wind, turned into blood mist. They are like a porcelain vase that has been hit hard and will be broken at any time. However, both of them are gnashing their teeth at the moment. Neither of them is willing to retreat. They are still trying to suppress each other. Their fierce appearance is shocking. Even Yin Changsheng and others are masters of one side and have seen countless faces of the world. However, it is the first time for them to see such a fierce guy. Both Long Chen and Long Outyin were seriously injured and their lives were hanging on the line, but no one wanted to retreat. Now it depends on who can suppress whom. If they retreat, it means they are defeated. They would rather die than admit defeat. At that moment, Emon Yen was not in the mood to search for treasures. Now, Longchen and Longation can distinguish life and death at any time. What Emon Yen is afraid of is not the defeat of Longchen, but the fear that they will be attacked by Ji Wuming, the terrorist killer, under the condition of both defeat and injury. It would be too dangerous. All of a sudden, two people roar at the same time, their blood essence burns up at the same time, which is the way of self-mutilation and the most fierce battle. Hum hum. The endless stars behind the dragon dust roared, and the power of the stars turned to the extreme, and the stars began to turn bright and dark. Obviously, the power of the stars of Longchen had reached the end of the mountain. It can be said that this war was the most difficult battle since the birth of dragon dust. And Long Outyin is no better. The colorful light of his whole body gradually fades away, and the vision and colorful world behind him also becomes illusory. It seems that the oil is exhausted and the lamp is dry. Boom! Suddenly, Long Aoshan's body trembled, a mouthful of blood gushed, and the man flew backward. Coward, that's why, even if you have my spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone, you are not my opponent. I dragon dust, from the world step by step to grow up, all I have, all I strive to get. And you, even life do not dare to fight, can only prove that your heart is cowardly, you fear failure, you fear death. Fear of failure, fear of death, is because you are not confident in yourself. A person who does not believe in himself will never become a strong man in his life. Dragon dust cold drink way. Two people fight hard to consume, it depends on who can't hold on. Who can't hold on, who will die. In the end, Dragon Outyin is timid, and he chooses to retreat. The price of retreating is that the overwhelming power of Long Chen, which is used to his body. Long Outyin spurts 3 mouthfuls of purple blood, and the whole person's breath becomes withered in an instant. It's useless for me to fight with my body. I can't do anything without my blood? Do you think I'm as stupid as you are? To kill you, I don't need to take any risks at all. Why should I use my own weaknesses to compete with your strengths? Long Aoshan's face was gloomy and he was biting his teeth. Long Outyin said before that he wanted to defeat him in the strongest place of Longchen. Unfortunately, he failed. Today's sophistry is tantamount to beating himself in the face. My colorful supreme blood has not fully awakened, and purple blood has only mastered some fur. The most important thing is that chaotic purple blood is not used to strengthen strength. Forget it, I'm too lazy to talk nonsense with you. You have no strength, my colorful supreme blood is almost consumed, but my purple blood still has more than half. Next, you can rest assured and die under the unique skill of your mother's family. You should be able to close your eyes. Long Aoshan's words are obviously powerless, but when he raises it with his left hand, the endless purple blood gushes out, and the mysterious symbol rolls over, gathering into a purple spear in his hand. As soon as the purple spear came out, the world roared with terror, and the earth began to sink slowly. This purple blood spear can make gods and demons change. Already weak to this degree, the Dragon Outyin can still condense such a terrible move, and all of us were suddenly frightened. Die, with a big hand shaking, the bloody spear runs through the heaven and earth, carrying the divine power of destroying heaven and earth, and stabs at the dragon dust. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3853. The spear is made up of purple blood symbols. Long Aoshan's colorful supreme blood is exhausted and the lamp is dry. It is replaced by purple blood. This is the real blood fight. Long Outyin is too strong, 2 kinds of supreme blood, each of which is far away from ancient times and today. If he has one, he has 2 kinds. As soon as the purple spear comes out, all the ways will be in harmony. It is said that the purple blood is a family of heaven's selected people. Their blood essence is the epitome of the heaven and one of the god blood closest to the law of heaven. As soon as the purple blood came out, the power of the way of heaven poured into the spear like 100 rivers flowing into the sea. The void kept breaking, and could not bear the power of this gun. The dragon dust put away the Ming Hong sword, and the flame lotus appeared on the left hand, and the thunderball appeared in the right hand, calling out the fire lotus and thunder light. The flame burst into the sky, thunder resounded through heaven and earth, thunder and the power of fire interweave, Long Chen hands together, the 2 forces fused together, hit out hard. You fool! The blow of dragon dust made the strong man of the dragon clan scold. At this time, the dragon dust had no strength, and it was not suitable for hard work at this time. If dragon dust can defend with the power of thunder and fire, and cast a defense shield, it can consume a large amount of blood essence of Long Outyin, and the consumption of main attacker is much more than that of defender. But Long Chen didn't dare to defend. It was time for him to attack each other and wasted a great opportunity. Boom! The force of thunder and fire hit the spear exploded, and Long Aotian's blood gushed out in confusion. And Longchen also coughs up blood. A pair of arms? Is the flesh and blood flying? The bones are exposed. When the dragon dust again summoned the power of life to repair his body, he was shocked to find that there was no life force to extract in the chaotic space. In the chaotic space, Jianmu Divine Tree has dried up, all the precious medicines are lying on the ground, even the magic eye water lily has withered, lying in the pool. The whole chaotic world was in a state of withering. Long Chen remembered that during the time of fighting with Long Outyen, he constantly extracted the power of life, repaired his body dozens of times, and drained the life force here. In the chaotic space, only the buds of Qibao Glaze Tree, Tiandao Tree and Taiyin Tree are still alive, and the rest of the trees, flowers and plants are all withered. The war was so tragic that after the bodies of so many ancient evil corpses were swallowed up, the huge amount of life gas released was consumed up. It's time to end. Dragon Dust took a deep breath. His hands were sealed, the endless thunder between heaven and earth, forming a sea of thunder for millions of miles. At that moment, the violent will of heaven covered the whole world, and the breath of natural calamity swept the sky. Lei Linger appears. She holds the thunder sword and bathes in the thunder sea. The long sword points to the sky. The 9 days thunder sea is completely absorbed by her thunder sword. But the people of Lei Linger don't talk much. The thunder sword cuts straight, and the heaven and earth resonate, and the wind and cloud change color. Long Outyen just fought hard with Long Chen, spraying blood. At this time, he saw Lei Linger kill, his big hand opened, and purple blood spear appeared again. Bang! The purple blood spear was broken by Lei Linger's sword. At this time, Long Outyen was at the end of his strength, while Lei Linger was full of strength at this time. He absorbed the thunder power of the world with the help of the soul of dragon dust. There is no doubt that all the dragons' heads will be cut off on that day. But when Lei Linger's long sword is cut on Long Aotian's scalp, a golden crown appears on Long Aotian's head, blocking Lei Linger's all-out strike. The golden crown appeared, and then Dragon Outyen was covered with golden scales. Soon the golden scales covered the whole body. Bang! An ancient and magnificent breath broke out. Lei Linger was shocked by the breath, and his body was broken into thunder rune. Brother Longchen. Lei Linger turns into a human again and returns to the dragon dust with a look of panic. She has no ability to stop that force. That's not his strength. It should be Taiga Dragon family. I knew that the dragon family would never let him die. The dragon dust looks at the dragon Outyen, which is wrapped by the golden light all over his body. In his eyes, there is a sharp light. Brother Longchen, let me come. You give me all the power of your soul. Let's display the great Buddhist scripture, activate the power of ice spirit, release the fire lotus, and absolutely kill him. At this time, Huolinger is eager to try the tunnel. Today's dragon dust still has 80% of the power of the soul, which is still full. Just now Lei Linger made a move, but Long Chen only used part of his strength, because he had a premonition that Long Outyen was not so easy to kill. And his premonition did not go wrong. Long Outyen still had cards. When Long Aotian's golden crown and armor appeared, a figure appeared in the vision behind him. The figure was very vague. It seemed that he was an old man, but his face could not be seen clearly. His breath was very old with a sacred and solemn flavor. As soon as that figure appeared, the breath of Dragon Aotian also changed. Being infected by the breath, the golden light was shining. It pierced into the void, and the general breath of mountains and seas overflowed in all directions, squeezing the heaven and earth, and rumbling the divine voice, deafening. Dragon dust, I said that you must die today. Do you have anything to say now? Long Aotian's whole body is covered with golden light, just like a golden battle body. His voice is like a red bell and a big lu, which spreads all over the world. Even his voice has changed, becoming a little old, some bloody, with endless ferocity. The wound on Long Aotian's body has been completely healed. It seems that he has been reborn. His breath is more powerful than before. At that moment, Yin Changsheng and others have changed color. Long Outyen is simply a terrible monster with endless cards. You have been defeated, and now you have to rely on external forces to protect your life. You still have the face to continue to pose a condescending attitude. I really admire you for being a complete loser and having such an arrogant face. I can't squeeze you all my life because I can't even eat my own shit without changing my face. Long Chen looks at Long Outyen and disdains the tunnel. A dying man, dare to speak a word, go to another world and cry. Long Outyen roared and his hands were imprinted. The shadow behind him suddenly moved. In the shadow, a fist fell down. As soon as the fist came out, the ancient breath bloomed with immortal brilliance. His fist declined, and the whole world began to sink slowly. This is a killing with a sharp blow. Dragon dust, it'll help you block this move. Don't fight. Go and grab the tripod. At this time, the voice of the strong dragon came. No, I will seize the tripod and kill the people. Dragon dust and Huolinger were both printed at the same time. The sacred and solemn voice of chanting the scriptures resounded through the universe. In the 9 days of shaking, a snow-white flame lotus appeared. White lotus, crazy soaring, 100 li thousands of miles. Finally, when the flame lotus rose to 100,000 li, the fist had already been smashed. Go, destroy the fire lotus. Dragon dust and Huolinger changed their printing methods at the same time. The snow lotus flower, carrying the supreme spirit, collides with the fist. With this blow, Huolinger bursts out with all her strength, without any reservation. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3854. One blow smashed thousands of ways, and the fire lotus ignited the 9 days. The two forces of destroying heaven and earth collided with each other in people's astonished eyes. This time, Yin Changsheng and others learned to be obedient. They not only hid far away, but also opened their defense ahead of time. Mo Nian and others immediately returned to the coffin and covered the coffin. Boom! There was a tremendous noise. Mo Nian and others hummed. There was a shaking in the coffin, which made their internal organs move. This blow was even more terrifying than the previous one. When the aftermath of the horror, Mo Nian and others drill out of the coffin, shocked to find that their coffin, there is a spider-like crack. Skyline. Summer Morning cannot help but exclaim that the skyline dividing heaven and earth is missing. The whole world is still shaking, as if it is out of balance. The myriad ways are shaking and the laws are crying. They don't care to observe others. First they look at the dragon dust. They see that the dragon dust is still in the void. The breath is very weak to the extreme. There is a thunder dragon on his body. Click, click. A crack appeared on the thunder dragon and finally exploded. Lei Linger took absolute defense to protect the dragon dust. Otherwise, such a terrible move would directly shock the dragon dust into powder. Don't say that Long Chen is at the end of its tether. Even in its heyday, such a close distance can take half of Long Chen's life. At this time, the world was in a mess. Huolinger used the power of Ice Soul. Although her ice spirit flame has not been fully formed, it is the 8th existence in the Sky Fire list. It is a terrible flame with the ability to destroy one side of the world. Even if it is not formed, under the full outbreak, the destructive power is still superior to all the ways. Especially under the two people's operation of the Great Brahma Sutra, this attack was strengthened several times. Lei Linger's whole strength was used for defense, but she almost failed to prevent it. Fortunately, she did not let Long Chen down. In contrast, Long Outyen, though his golden crown and golden armor were dim, did not seem to have been damaged. It's really abnormal. When Mo Nian looks at the Earth's crust, which has been completely deformed for millions of miles, he can't help but wonder. Whether it's dragon dust or Long Outyen, they're both quite abnormal. Yin Changxing, Ji Wuming, Shikai and Jiuyo Luosha are also dull. They have run out of oil and the lamp is dry. They still have such terrible cards. Especially Ji Wuming can't help but secretly congratulated, because just now he moved the idea of sneaking attack and wanted to kill Long Chen and Long Outyen together. Fortunately, he was calm. Otherwise, if he made a rash move, they would still have such terrible counterattack power. Even if he had 100 lives together, it would not be enough. After a blow, the frost all over the sky, the residual flame between the heaven and the earth, falling in profusion, like snowflakes falling. That's the ash that the ice spirit flame ignites the law of heaven. When it's burned out, the ashes fall from the 9 heavens. Even the ashes still have the power of terrible flame, cold flame, baking the world. Everyone seems to be in the furnace. This is the spirit of ice flame, even if it has not yet formed, but already has the ability to destroy the way of heaven, which is awe-inspiring. Seeing the terrible power of ice spirit flame, Yin Changsheng's eyes turned red in a flash. The terrible ice spirit flame, originally belonging to him, was robbed by dragon dust. Long Aoshan's whole body is wrapped by divine light, and the divine light on the golden crown and gold armor becomes dim, but he himself is not injured at all. And the shadow behind him, his hands were bound, Dao Shenhui poured into the body of Long Aotian. Dragon dust, my golden dragon crown and golden dragon armor, are the treasures of the ancient dragon family, which are attached with the supreme power of the ancestors of the dragon family. As long as the ancestors of the dragon family don't die, even if it's 3,000 worlds, there will be a steady stream of power. The golden crown will not die, and the armor will last forever. As long as there are these 2 treasures, no one in this world can kill me. I said, no matter how strong you are, everything is in vain. The dead will always be you. I'm not very unwilling. I'm also descendants of the Taigu dragon family. But I'm standing out because of your spirit blood, spirit root, and spirit bone. But you finally died under the power of your ancestors. Ah, how ironic and pathetic it is. Long Aotian looks up at the sky and laughs. His voice is still arrogant. However, his voice is short of breath and his breath is short. Obviously, even if he was blessed by the dragon family ancestors and protected by the golden crown and gold armor, he still suffered great damage. Now he is no different from dragon dust, and will fall at any time. Despicable, this son of a bitch, as always mean, the boss uses all his own strength, but he still dares to be proud with the strength of the old tortoise of the dragon family. He really hates people. Gua Ran saw the arrogant appearance of Long Aotian and was very angry. Old tortoise, don't talk nonsense. The eldest is also a member of the dragon family. However, the dragon is arrogant and despicable. Obviously I have lost, but I still put on a high profile. There is no sense of failure. Damn it, don't let him fall into my hands. Otherwise, I have 10,000 ways to make him regret coming to this world. The summer morning looks at the dragon Ao day, also hates the tooth-root sun to itch. Long Outyen wanted to defeat Longchen, but also wanted to defeat Longchen in the most direct, powerful and violent way. He not only wants to kill the dragon dust, but also the dragon dust dies in the endless unwillingness and grievance. Only in this way can he get rid of his hatred. Unfortunately, Longchen is too strong, stronger than he imagined. No matter what tactics he uses, Longchen will fight back in the most domineering way, and the 2 people's unique skills frequently appear, and the dragon dust always beats the dragon's head. Now the 2 fight to the end of the mountain. Long Outyen used the strength of the dragon family. At this time, dragon dust no longer have the power to fight back. Almost. It's time for Master Mo to come on stage. Mo Nyang Ha Hea smile, this result, all in his anticipation. He thought that Long Outyen was not the opponent of dragon dust, which was the intuition of the master. No matter how strong Long Outyen is, he is strong because of external forces, and the strong dragon dust comes from itself. Even if the strength of the 2 is equal, but even if there are 10 fierce battles, Mo Nyen also thinks that the 10 times are all dragon dust victories, and there will be absolutely no accidents. The biggest difference between the 2 lies in their self-confidence. Long Outyen relies on external forces for everything. All strength is given by others. None of them is supported by his own strength. Therefore, he always believes that Long Outyen will be defeated. Master's intuition is very amazing, and Mo Nyen's premonition is also very correct. Long Outyen finally lost. No matter how terrible the cards he has, he can't change the result. At the last moment he still had to cheat. All this was also expected by Mo Nyen. For example, Long Outyen, who has unlimited potential, will never let him die. He will be given countless cards to protect his life. Longchen, I admit that I lost this time, but what about that? Dead or you, haha, how powerful is it? In the end you lost to luck. Long Outyen is not a bit discouraged, but complacent, treading on the void, holding the Sun-Moon 5-element flag to the dragon dust. Emon Yen held a long bow and was about to stand up when he saw a look of sarcasm on the corner of his mouth. I want to kill you, even if the gods and demons come, I can't protect you, let alone a little ancestor of the dragon family? When Long Chen finished speaking, his eyes closed. When his left eye opened, the endless power of darkness surged. At that moment, the sky and the earth were dim, and the meaning of Senling's killing was radiating to 9 days and 10 places. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3855 In Long Chen's eyes, there is a pattern of 3 petals, which is exactly the appearance of 3 pupils. When Dragon Dust's Purgatory I started the 3-flower pupil, the heaven and earth emerged a tens of thousands of miles of 3-flower pattern. 3 flowers cover the sky, the dragon Outyen shrouded. At that moment, the sweat of the dragon proud sky inverted, strong danger covered his heart. The 5-element flag of the sun and the moon in Long Aocean's hand smashed at the pattern of 3 flowers, but the void trembled, but the pattern of 3 flowers did not move. The pattern of 3 flowers could be seen but could not be touched. In Long Chen's left eye, the pattern of 3 flowers circulates. Until today, with the constant improvement of Long Chen's cultivation, he can barely control the real power of the Purgatory Eye. It is also the first time that the Purgatory Eye is used to activate pupil. 3 flowers kill. As Long Chen bites his teeth, the pupil of 3 flowers in his eyes suddenly trembles. There is a blank in the place where the 3 flowers overlap. When the power of the soul of dragon dust is activated, the blank space forms a vortex. When the whirlpool formed for a moment, there was black blood overflowing in Long Chen's eyes, and the fierce pain was eroding the soul of Long Chen. Boom! The pattern of 3 flowers covered by Long Outyen is illusory. When the dragon dust attacks, the 3 flowers solidify in an instant. The intersection of the 3 flowers is the location of Long Outyen, and a strange whirlpool appears in front of Long Outyen. Heaven and earth cover. Long Outyen was surprised and angry, and roared, and the vision behind him trembled. As soon as the figure printing method changed, a light mask wrapped Long Outyen. Boom! But just as the mask condensed, it was crushed and exploded by the vortex. Not only did the whirlpool explode, but also the virtual shadow behind Long Outyen. Poof! With a scream, half of his body was swallowed up by the whirlpool, and the blood mist filled the sky. It was like an invisible beast that bit off half of his body. Bang! The 3 flowers burst into pieces, and Long Outyen tumbled out and blood-stained the sky. People were shocked to find that the golden armor of Long Outyen was half swallowed up by the whirlpool and became a broken armor. The power of the soul is not enough. It's wrong. Long Chen's left eye was in sharp pain, as if to crack. He launched the blow, and he also paid a great price. Unfortunately, for the first time, when the power of the soul was insufficient, the core of pupil surgery deviated. Before Long Chen and Hualinger worked together to stimulate the fire lotus, and Long Chen kept a hand. At that time, 80% of the soul power of Long Chen was left, and half of it was reserved. Just in case, a part of the soul power was left to launch the Eyes of Purgatory. 40% of the soul power is enough to launch the Eyes of Purgatory, but there is a deviation in the control. If the core of the vortex is aimed at the head of Long Outyen, he will be dead now. Ooh! The thunder wings behind the dragon dust emerge and rush to the dragon Outyen. At this time, the dragon Outyen loses the support of the shadow behind him and is dying. He has no strength to fight back. To kill him, only one move is needed. Sky Dragon Lock Empty Array. Before Long Chen did, countless strong men came to Long Outyen. They held magic weapons and set up the array. They were very strong in Taiga Dragon family. A group of mole ants can also stop my dragon dust revenge? In the face of these supreme-level Tianjia's obstacles, Long Chen hums coldly and his sword vibrates. Even though he is at the end of his tether, he is still determined to kill. Fool, don't worry about the dragon arrogance. Yin Changsheng has already imprinted the spirit mark on the bronze ancient tripod. If you don't do it, he will get the bronze ancient tripod. You will regret it all your life. Dragon Dust just about to kill in the past, the dragon strong man angrily cheered. Dragon Dust found that the ancient bronze tripod floating in the void began to glow slowly, with milky white runes floating on it. It turns out that Yin Changsheng came here, the first time he saw the extraordinary bronze tripod, secretly using his own soul to communicate with the ancient bronze tripod. This ancient tripod has an endless flame rune on it. Yin Changsheng secretly nourishes it with his own fire of faith, expecting to resonate with it. Only after the resonance can he brand the soul mark on it and take it away. Yin Changsheng also paid a great price to nourish the ancient bronze tripod with his blood essence and the fire of faith. Finally, the bronze tripod began to respond, and he began to secretly brand the soul mark. All this was done by Yin Changsheng in secret way. He didn't know it. But at this time, the soul mark began to appear gradually and finally attracted other people's attention. Looking for death, Jiuyo Luosha was the first one to turn over his face and killed Yin Changsheng with a sword. Everyone knows that the bronze ancient tripod is the most precious treasure, and Yin Changsheng wants to be the first to get there. Haha, it's useless. The soul mark has been planted. This ancient tripod belongs to Yin Changsheng. Yin Changsheng laughs like thunder. Facing the attack of Jiuyo Luosha, he avoids fighting. His body swings and rushes directly to the ancient tripod. Boom! At this time, the bronze tripod kept shaking, and the chains around it jingled, as if to break free at any time. I'm sorry, this treasure is related to us, so don't think about it. At this time, Emon Yen, together with Yu Shaoqian, Xia Chen and Guoran, blocked Yin Changsheng in front of him and did not give him a chance to get close to the bronze tripod. A bunch of idiots, no one can take what I want from Yin Changsheng. Seeing Emon Yen and others blocking the way, Yin Changsheng was surprised at first, and then understood that Emon Yen and others in the distance were only illusions. They were all cheated. But even so, he was still very confident. Yes? I'll give it a try. Emon Yen laughs, holding a long bow, gently pulling it. The bow is like the full moon, locking Yin Changsheng. Suddenly, Yin Changsheng broke away from Emon Yen's lock, which surprised Emon Yen. He was the first time that he was locked out and escaped. Yin Changsheng's body suddenly disappeared. When he reappeared, he had already reached the bronze tripod. He can use his power. Summer morning, his face changed greatly. Boom! Emon Yen shoots an arrow at Yin Changsheng, and the arrow is shattered by the light of the bronze ancient tripod before it reaches Yin Changsheng. Bad? Emon Yen's face also changed. He didn't expect that Yin Changsheng could control the power of the bronze ancient tripod so quickly. However, they did not know that Yin Changsheng was also making a big gamble. 80% of his blood essence, soul power and faith power were used to feed the ancient tripod. On the way, he wanted to give up several times. He was afraid that even if all his strength was fed to the bronze ancient tripod, he still could not wake it up, so that he would lose the qualification to fight for all the treasures. However, Yin Changsheng was also a cruel man. After biting his teeth, he continued to feed. Now he succeeded and absorbed so much blood essence from him that the ancient Ding finally became close to him. Boom boom. Jiuyo Luosha, Ji Wuming and Shikai also attacked Yin Changsheng. Unfortunately, Yin Changsheng could not be touched by the attack. All of them were annihilated by the bronze ancient tripod. People's faces suddenly became ugly. Haha, all accept your fate. I, Yin Changsheng, are destined to be the son of heaven. This can only be owned by me. Bronze tripod, recognize the Lord. Yin Changsheng laughed and broke off drinking. All the remaining essence, qi and spirit were poured into the ancient bronze tripod. On the bronze ancient tripod, a huge rune was lit up, which was the symbol of recognizing the master. This bronze ancient tripod was about to complete the recognition of the master and became the weapon of Yin Changsheng. You are too early to be happy. This treasure is mine. All of a sudden, the voice of dragon dust was cold, and then on the bronze tripod, the pattern of 3 flowers appeared again. You! Yin Changxing was shocked. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3856. The 3-flower rune covers the bronze ancient tripod, and the core of the 3-flower pattern is aimed at the identification rune. A whirlpool emerges, and the recognition rune is full of light. When the whirlpool emerges, all the forces that cover the rune are instantly erased. Poof! The rune for identifying the master was dim, and Yin Changxing gushed out a mouthful of blood, which was bounced out by the divine light of the bronze ancient tripod. Long Chen, you can't die easily, you can't kill 1,000 swords. Yin Changxing gave out a heartrending roar. Long Chen's strike directly wiped out all his efforts. His recognition of the Lord was interrupted and his efforts were in vain. Here comes the opportunity. Jiuyou Luosha, Shikai, Jaiwuming, Emonyen, Yu Shaoqian and others rushed to the bronze ancient tripod at the same time. Yin Changsheng's recognition of the Lord was interrupted, and other people's opportunities came, and they tried their best to fight for it. Boom boom. As a result, they just got close to the bronze tripod, and they were shot by the divine light one after another. No one could get close to them. But dragon dust easily passed through the light curtain of the bronze tripod and went straight to the bronze tripod. At that moment, everyone was shocked. How could it be? Corpse Plague can't help but be angry. Just when Longchen was just approaching the bronze tripod, a figure was faster than him and even rushed to the front of the bronze tripod. Long Outyin, everyone was shocked. The man was no other than Long Outyin, who was nearly killed by dragon dust. At this time, Dragon Outyin had only half of his body left, which was very frightening. At this time, his face was ferocious, and a big hand stained with blood was pounded on the bronze tripod. The bronze tripod roared and roared. It was pushed and shaken by the dragon Aotion and ran straight to the dragon dust. I know. The bronze tripod has absorbed the blood essence of 3 people, so they will be recognized by the bronze tripod. Uxiaqian called. When Yu Shaoqian said this, people suddenly realized that Yin Changxing used his blood essence to feed the bronze ancient tripod. And the dragon dust and the dragon Outyin fought fiercely, and their blood essence was absorbed by the bronze ancient tripod. However, no one else has given blood essence to the bronze tripod, which means that Yin Changxing, Long Chen and Long Outyin all have the key to open the ancient bronze tripod. Therefore, the bronze ancient tripod does not exclude them. There are no weapons that can resist the attack of the ancient tripod. The dragon arrogant sky roars, pushes the ancient tripod, looks ferocious like a ghost. Long Outyin pushed the bronze ancient tripod by hand, and the rune of identifying the main body on the ancient tripod was lit up again. Obviously, it would recognize the dragon Outyin as the main body. All of them have the ability to make the bronze tripod recognize the master. It depends on who can be the first to complete the recognition. Yin Changxing is shot and flies, and it is too late to rush over. The dragon Outyin pushes the bronze tripod to collide with the dragon dust. If the dragon dust resists, the terrible force will shock him to death. If it goes backwards, Long Outyin will take the opportunity to let the bronze ancient tripod recognize its owner. At that time, with the protection of the bronze ancient tripod, no one can do anything about it. In the face of the roaring bronze ancient tripod, Long Chen offered a black dagger. Instead of holding the dagger, he threw it with a big hand. The black dagger turned into a streamer and stabbed at the bronze ancient tripod. Bang! When the black dagger hit the bronze tripod, it made a strange noise, which was dull, like 2 huge objects touching each other. The sound was not loud, and there was no violent fluctuation, but the chains that were locked on the bronze tripod exploded, and the dragon Outyin, who pushed the ancient tripod, gushed blood and was shot out. Both the black dagger and the bronze tripod are safe and sound, but their touch has caused turbulence in the whole world. Boom boom. Chain burst, those coffins without the shackles of the chain, one by one burst into pieces, and then a breath of startling atmosphere radiated. No, the ancient evil corpse has come back to life. Emo Nien's face changed greatly, and the horrible creatures in the coffin were about to come out. Even if it was a breath, they could die without a burial place. Roar, all of a sudden, a huge figure appeared from the broken coffin. It was a black devil ape, beating its chest and sending out a thunderous roar. With its roar, the sky and the earth are broken, the void is disillusioned, and the raging sound wave makes all roads collapse. Puff puff. The Shengdan Hall, the demons and the strong men brought by Long Outyin burst into pieces and turned into powder. Emo Nien and Yin Changxing also vomited blood, as if there was a volcano in their bodies, which was detonated by the roar. Dong dong dong. The black-haired giant ape beat his chest, as if the sky drum was beating, and the heaven and earth were shaking. People felt that the heaven and earth were upside down, and the heaven and earth were overturned, and their bodies would be shattered. Yin Changxing and others were shocked. They did not know what level of monsters were buried in these coffins. Boom, a giant waving his fist, smashing the sky, endless space debris flying, the whole world is about to explode. That man is the three-eyed giant Emo Nien visited. There are 72 coffins sealed with 72 living creatures. Originally, there were only 36 on this side of the skyline, and there were also 36 on the other side of the skyline. Emo Nien and others explored only a dozen of them, and there were many creatures that they had never seen. Run away. At this time, Yin Changxing and others were afraid. These creatures could shake them to death by blowing their breath at will. At this time, they did not care about the bronze ancient tripod, and they all fled out. Come in. Emo Nien and others are just about to take action when Long Chen shouts. At this time, Long Chen was standing on the bronze ancient tripod, and the rune of identifying the owner of the bronze ancient tripod had been lit up. Although the identification of the owner had not been completed, the dragon dust was already half of its master. Who, Emo Nien and others, originally close to the bronze ancient tripod, heard Long Chen's greeting, but without thinking about it, they rushed directly. Sure enough, the light curtain of the bronze ancient tripod did not pop open, and everyone came in. After entering the light curtain, the people were relieved. There was a light curtain to cut off. Most of the terrible waves and voices were cut off, and most of them were scared. Summer morning, take a pill to cure the injury. Long Chen quickly handed Xia Chen a pill. At this time, Xia Chen's face was as pale as this, and his body was shaken to pieces. Although he was protected by seal script, he almost died. The monster sealed in the coffin was too terrible to understand. It's roaring and thundering outside, but it's isolated by the light curtain of bronze tripod. It's safe here for the time being. Hey, these idiots, this is bad luck. Looking at Yin Changxing, Corpse Tsai, Ji Wuming, Jiuyo Luosha and Long Outyin, Emo Nien shows a sinister smile. At this time, the air waves were surging outside, and the vigorous wind was howling. They were like boats in the rough sea and would capsize at any time. At this time, there is only one sign of bronze collapse in this area. Help me protect the Dharma, and I will recognize the master of this bronze tripod. When Long Chen finished speaking, he put his big hand on the bronze tripod, concentrating his mind and calming his breath, running his little remaining essence, chi and spirit to collect the bronze tripod thoroughly. Boom! At this time, the heaven and earth burst open, and then people were shocked to find that a huge cage emerged, covering the whole world. This. Emo Nien saw the cage, and his face appeared with a look of horror. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3857. A huge cage covering the sky appears, and at this time, Dragon Outyin and others just escaped to the periphery of the cage. Boom! As soon as the cage appeared, it was quickly closed. The cage was condensed by the law of heaven, just like a bird cage covering the world. Ha! Long Chen, you are dead. Long Aocean's body is full of blood, panting like an ox, but when he sees the cage of heaven and earth, he covers the dragon dust and those horrible creatures, and he can't help but gloat. At this time, Emon Yen and others changed their faces, and the cage of heaven and earth appeared, either to prevent these creatures from escaping, or to be related to the bronze ancient tripod where dragon dust was located. Emon Yen studied various tombs, but it was the first time that he personally experienced celestial burial. However, everything here is totally different from what is recorded in the book. Everything is too strange. Boom! The cage of heaven and earth is tight, and the living creatures who rush out of the coffin become quiet for a moment after being covered by the cage. Then they slowly turned around and looked at the dragon dust. At that moment, the spirits of dragon dust and others almost didn't scare them to fly. No, it seems that the crow's mouth of Longchen is right. I'm afraid the burial place is artificial. It's possible that everything is for sealing the ancient tripod. Emon Yen is a little anxious. But now the heir is in a hurry, but there is no way. These creatures are powerful beyond their imagination, and there is nothing they can do. These creatures slowly came to the ancient tripod. At this time, they were not angry, as if they were controlled by a puppet, approaching step by step. Boss, haven't you finished the recognition? Let this tripod take us away, Guoran exclaimed anxiously. Long Chen is also very anxious at this time, but he has exhausted all his strength, and the power of his soul is seriously insufficient. It is impossible to quickly complete the recognition of the Lord. Do you regret it now? I've told you, save your strength to collect the bronze tripod, but you won't listen. At this time, the strong people of the dragon nationality did not have a good way. Master, I know I'm wrong. Please help me. Hearing the voice of the strong man of the dragon clan, the spirit of dragon dust suddenly came. Sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. The strong people of the dragon nationality are cold and cold. Master! Longchen was shocked. Boom! At this moment, a living creature hit the bronze tripod with one fist, and a bang. The bronze tripod trembled suddenly, and its light curtain exploded. Long Chen and others were almost killed by the aftershock. At this time, another living creature, a big hand, ran straight to the bronze tripod and caught it. It's over. This is the only thought of the people. These creatures are too strong to compete. Poof! Just when people thought that they would die, the big hand burst into pieces, and the flesh and blood scattered all over the world. The fierce pressure of qi and blood made the void roar. This! All of a sudden, they found that the old man behind Emon Yen did not know when he opened his eyes. Master! Longchen was surprised and pleased. In the eyes of the old man, the strange pattern flowed. It was he who had just made a move. The old man slowly separated from Guoran's back and looked at a figure behind the group of creatures. Long Chen and others noticed that it was a beautiful woman holding a long sword. Her breath was also vast and terrible. Hero, I finally found you. Seeing the woman, the old man's shriveled face showed a smile, and his eyes were full of gratification. Hearing the old man's call, the woman's body trembled a little, and her godless eyes gradually appeared. Xingyu, is that you? The woman shuddered, her eyes slowly recovering, but it seemed that she could not see the surroundings. At this time, all living creatures rushed to the bronze tripod at the same time, and Long Chen and others exclaimed. However, the 6 patterns in the eyes of the old man flowed, and there was a silence between the heaven and the earth, as if the time was still. All of a sudden, the creatures did not move. Hero, I finally found you. The old man's voice with endless tenderness, trembling forward, the woman followed the voice. Yu hand slowly held the old man's dry big hand. When the 2 hands touched each other, the woman's body suddenly trembled, and suddenly opened her arms, holding the old man and weeping with joy. Why do you leave me? I'm so scared. It's so dark here. I can't see anything. I keep calling your name, but you don't respond to me. The woman wailed as if she had been wronged endlessly. I'm sorry, I broke my promise and made you suffer. Don't worry, I will never leave you again. The old man gently stroked the woman's hair, his eyes full of guilt. Seeing the old man comforting the woman, Long Chen's nose is sour, and his tears almost fall out. Their conversation reminds Long Chen of the old man and Chu Jianing. When Chu Jianying fell down, the old man said before he killed himself that Chu Jianying had been strong all his life. In fact, she was very timid and afraid of the dark. The old man wanted to go to another world to accompany her. The old man is dead, but he can't let go of his heart's concern. He is struggling to find his lover. This obsession is deeply admired and moved. The old man gently comforted the sobbing woman. His eyes looked at the living creatures around him, and then looked at the cage of heaven and earth that enveloped the world. He sighed. Heaven is not the original heaven, and Tao is no longer the Tao that used to be. Death is dead, but we should be imprisoned and used. How cruel is it? The old man said and looked at Longchen. Little brother, you are a man of promise. Thanks for your care. I can fulfill my long-cherished wish. It's a pity that I'm dead and I can't repay you. I'm so ashamed. It's up to you to help and help each other when you speak. Longchen is in a hurry. The old man nodded his head and said, Little brother, you are a world hero. I like your character very much. Unfortunately, I can't watch you fight for 9 days and kill demons. However, I still have one unkind request, and ask my little brother to do me a favor. Master, it's okay to say so. As long as I can do it, I will never refuse. Dragon Dust Road. Master! In the crowd exclamation, the old man actually stretched out his hand to take down an eyeball in his eye socket, and the people were shocked. The eye bead fell into the hands and turned into a gem with 6 patterns. Inside the gem, endless visions flow and countless creatures are evolving, which seems to be the evolution of some kind of road. The old man handed the jewel-like eye to Long Chen and said, Little brother, this is my 6 heavenly pupils. I am old and incompetent. I am ashamed of a pair of divine eyes and unable to recover the power of Crazy Lan. I hope you can help me pass on the pupil technique. If this pupil skill is lost because of my death, my guilt will be too great. Master! Long Chen knew that the old man was passing on his pupils, but he was afraid that he would not accept it, so he said so tactfully that he could not refuse. Little brother, please, I still have a 6-day pupil, which is enough to perform the 6 ways of reincarnation and reincarnate with Qi Luo. The old man said, looking at the living creatures around him and sighing, Dust to dust, earth to earth, all go with me. The 6 patterns in the eyes of the old man flowed, and the runes of 6 colors echoed between heaven and earth. At that moment, the heaven and earth changed color and the sky trembled. Boom! The cage between heaven and earth burst into pieces. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3858. When the prison of heaven and earth broke down, the whole 3,000 worlds trembled, and the strong men of all cities, regions and clans rushed out one after another. They looked at the sky, the endless chain of order broke open, the majestic breath swept over 3,000 worlds. With the arrival of chaos, all treasure lands will be opened. A strong man cried out excitedly. Boom, 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 there are mountains and rivers broken, rivers are disconnected, the door of space is opened, everywhere treasure land is opened, endless chaotic gas is pouring into the 3,000 world. People in 3,000 worlds have become crazy. They follow the breath of chaos and begin to trace their source. At the place of celestial burial, Long Chen, Emon Yen and others looked at the old man of Tong clan in shock. His Tian Tong launched and destroyed the cage of heaven and earth. What a terrible blow! Since they are all dead, good or evil, go back where they come from. The old man looked at the creatures and sighed. A ripple spreads from the old man's eyes. The ripple is extremely gentle, but contains unspeakable power, which is the power of law never seen by dragon dust. Puff, puff, puff. After the ripples, those creatures standing still fell down one after another, and the mysterious ripples took away the power to support them. They are like a group of puppets that have been manipulated. The old man cut off the line that controls them with his pupil. These creatures suddenly fall to the ground, and the terrible pressure on them begins to dissipate slowly. This time they seem to be dead. Little brother, my husband and wife can get together again because of your kindness. This kindness is deeply impressed. Now my husband and wife are about to reincarnate, and all causes and effects are about to be cut off. Although we don't thank you for the great kindness, once the cause and effect is cut off, I'm afraid we will never meet again. We can only say thank you to my little brother here." The old man looked at the dragon dust road. "What's more, you should help each other first when you are human beings. Moreover, you have experienced ancient wars and are heroes of the human race. If there is no you, head, blood, with your own lives, for us to fight for the chance of survival, this world, whether or not I dragon dust, is an unknown. So please don't mention it. You are the hero of the Terran and your real husband. I feel honored to do this." Long Chun sincerely tunnel, eyes are full of admiration. Since ancient times, heroes are heavy heroes. Long Chun can see that this old man thinks his wife more important than his life. But he and his wife took part in the war without hesitation. What courage did it take? If it is Long Chen, he may fight on the battlefield by himself, but he is not willing to let his loved ones follow the danger. It can be seen that both of them are real heroes. It's a pity that we were not born in the same era. It's time to say goodbye, little brother. The old man looked at Long Chen and appreciated the tunnel. "Good morning, two elders." Dragon dust line a ceremony. Emon Yen and other people have followed the salute. The old man nodded. Suddenly in the eyes of the six lights whirl. The two men's bodies slowly turned into nothingness, and finally disappeared between heaven and earth. The two old men who had participated in the ancient war finally returned to the samsara. Looking for death, all of a sudden, Emo read a break, and his long bow came out of his hand. Boom! With a bang, the void burst into pieces, and a figure disappeared in an instant. Emo Nyen's strike was even empty. Ji Wuming, just at the moment that the old man disappeared, Ji Wuming stealthily attacked him. He wanted to take the opportunity to kill Long Chen, but Emo Nyen saw through and took the first step. At this time, the dragon dust, weak and abnormal, less than 1/10 of the usual reaction, did not produce a little sense. If not for the ink red strong enough, dragon dust really will be small life. Ji Wuming failed to hit the target and snorted coldly. "Longshan, today is your big life. However, this big life does not mean that you are still lucky next time, waiting for me to take your head next time." Who? Ji Wuming did not succeed. After exposing her body shape, her body shook, and the whole person disappeared. She failed to hit the target and fled for thousands of miles. Dragon dust, you wait. Now the chaotic chi comes and the treasure land is opened. When my supreme blood is full, it is the time to take your life. Long Outyan looks at the dragon dust with resentment. Now he is extremely embarrassed, half of his body is broken, it seems that he can die at any time, but he has a light purple air around him, the breath seems to recover some. Long Outyan finished, crushed a piece of Fu Zhuan, the person directly sent away. Juyo Luocha coldly looked at the dragon dust, did not say a word, directly left. Yin Changsheng's forehead was full of blue veins, and his eyes almost burst out fire. He wanted to kill Long Chen alive. Last time, Long Chen robbed him of the ice spirit flame that he was determined to get. This time, he took away the bronze ancient tripod that he had consumed countless blood essence and soul nourishment, as if dragon dust had targeted him specifically. Dragon dust, next time I meet, I will recover everything that originally belongs to me. Yin Changsheng left gnashing his teeth. For a while, everyone left, leaving only Long Chen and others. Guo Ran couldn't help but wonder, they just left like this? What if you don't go? Do you expect me to take care of their food? Emo Nyen stands on the road. Xia Chen said with a smile, these people, when these Archean creatures were furious, almost died by the flood. Now it seems that they have nothing on their appearance. In fact, they have no combat power. If we start with us, they will suffer. Summer Morning said so. Guoran just suddenly realized that the feelings of these guys do not want to start, but cannot do it. Dragon dust will help you. Well, recognize the master of this bronze ancient tripod first. After Emo Nyen finished, one hand pressed on the back of the dragon dust, and the vigorous spirit poured into the body of the dragon dust. Yu Shaoqian also put one hand on the shoulder of Longchen. Now Longchen is seriously short of essence. Even if the bronze tripod wants to recognize him, he can't light the rune. With the help of the two, Longchen pressed his big hand on the bronze tripod, and the blood slowly overflowed and infected the whole rune. The bronze tripod trembled slightly, and the divine light trembled, and finally completed the recognition of the Lord. Longchen wanted to put the bronze tripod into the chaotic space, but he didn't expect that the bronze ding directly broke into his soul space and chose his own place to live. After putting away the bronze tripod, Longchen was relieved. Before he could study the bronze tripod, he began to clean up the battlefield with the people. Emo Nien, Xiachen and Guoran have begun to clean up the things on the corpses, which are real treasures. Strange, why didn't you see the corpse? Did he run away before Ji had to fight? Uxiaqian holding dragon dust, some strange tunnel. No, be careful. He may have controlled some evil corpse. Longchen's face changed greatly and cried out. Suddenly a corpse lying on the ground moved. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3859, Guoran, be careful, Longchen exclaimed. Guoranzheng was standing on the top of a living creature and was about to take a saw to saw its horn. Suddenly, the creature reached out and patted Guoran. Guoran was reminded by the dragon dust that the wings of the armor waved like lightning. However, his speed was still a little slow. He was scratched by the living creature's claws, only touched lightly. Guoran, like a meteor, smashed into the earth, and his body disappeared on the ground. Boom! The creature stood up from the ground, and Longchen and others noticed that it was the creature of a winged demon clan. Hey, dragon dust, go to hell. The strong man of the winged demon clan laughs and goes to the dragon dust. The voice is obviously made by the corpse plague. He even secretly controls this horrible Archean demon corpse. No way! He can't control such a powerful evil corpse like this. Month Small Qian a face can't believe look. Uxiaqian's magic seal glows in the center of her eyebrows, covering the corpse of the powerful one who controls the winged demon. It's no use. The rune of this corpse is not inspired at all. Your seal is useless. Unexpectedly, I am not a member of the first demon clan. I joined the first demon clan to cultivate the corpse demon road. I was originally a member of the winged demon clan, and my soul still bears the mark of the winged demon clan. It's easy to control the bodies of the powerful people of our clan. Hey, since all the people have left, let me finish all this. The corpse plague rushed to the dragon dust with a grim smile. His speed was not fast, his body was rickety and clumsy, and he seemed unable to control the body. But the owner of this corpse is so terrible that if he slaps him, he will be shot dead in the present situation of Longchen. Earth's spirit bondage, Emo Nianling drank, did not know what to throw out. The earth even stretched out countless chains, straight to the legs of the corpse. Boom! The chains wound around the legs of the corpse, and with a bang, those steel chains burst into pieces, but the corpse also fell to the ground with a dog eating excrement. He wanted to steal the body, to trap him, to keep him alive here. Emo Nien yelled, said words, took out the shovel, in the earth suddenly dig. Boom! The earth collapsed and the body of the corpse fell into the mud pit in an instant. At this time, Xia Chen's Fuzhuan was thrown into the mud one after another. Inspired by Emo Nien, he turned the seal script into a chain like a spider's web, which was wrapped around the corpse's body. Boom boom. The corpse plague kept struggling, but the body was disobedient and clumsy. It was like a drunk who fell into a puddle and could not climb up no matter how hard he struggled. Emo Nien's shovel in his hand continued to wave, and the pit became deeper and deeper. The corpse was angry and roared again and again. Suddenly, he opened his mouth, and a mouthful of blood gushed out. The blood gushed out and was absorbed by the wings behind him. His wings trembled, and the void burst into pieces, and the human beings rushed up like a meteor. However, he did not fly up directly, but flew out from the top of the syncline. There were thousands of miles of hole dug by Emo Nien, and his oblique flight hit the soil hard. Boom! As a result, thousands of miles of soil layer was knocked through by him, and with endless dust, he rose to the sky and fell violently in the distance. You wait for me when I completely fit in with this body, when you die. The wings behind him trembled again and flew up again. As a result, he even made a mistake in the direction and flew straight to Longchen and others. His face changed, his wings waved wildly, and he forced to change direction. He turned from the top of Longchen and others, stumbled and bumped several times, and finally disappeared at the end of people's sight. It was both surprising and funny. Seeing the corpse leaving, people were full of worry. No, the corpse plague has controlled such a terrible body. I'm afraid we'll have to escape next time we meet. Summer Morning Road. Don't worry, this kind of corpse is not under his control. He can only frighten people at most. Mo Nian is not worried. Yes, this level of evil corpse, he does not reach the realm of king, simply cannot match it. Even if he is a member of the same family of winged demons, he cannot completely control the magic power of the evil corpse. If he wants to control the magic power of the evil corpse, he needs to activate the life rune of the evil corpse. As long as he activates the life rune of the evil corpse, he will be suppressed by my demonic seal. Therefore, I guess he will choose to control the flesh and blood of the evil corpse first. In this way, although we have no way to deal with him, as long as we don't fight with him, he can't help us. Yu Xiaoqian gradually recovered from her previous shock. The corpse plague controls the terror demon corpse, but it cannot activate the talisman, so it can only exert the most basic physical power. And the winged devil itself is not good at physical combat, so even if the corpse plague gets the winged demon evil corpse, you don't have to worry too much. It's a big deal to hide from him. After the corpse disaster escaped, all the talents cleaned up the battlefield again. After all the things were searched, the dragon dust collected these corpses into the chaotic space one after another. After entering the chaotic space, Long Chen did not directly throw them into the black soil, but put them aside first. He first looked at the Fusang ancient wood that he had thrown in. After the ancient Fusang wood was thrown into the chaotic space, Long Chen had no time to deal with it. Now it is finally empty. While recovering, he uses a black dagger to cut its branches from the tree and insert them into the soil. Long Chen has inserted 108 branches of ancient Fusang trees, planted in the most marginal zone of the chaotic world, with distances of millions of miles. After finishing these tasks, Dragon Dust threw a corpse into the black soil. To his surprise, the black soil swallowed up the corpse, which was obviously a lot of work. After a long time, the breath of life began to bloom, and the corpse, it seems that there is no change. The black soil only decomposes a small part of its body, but the majestic air of life makes all things in the chaotic world recover in an instant. The pure chi of life makes the withered vegetation recover at the speed visible to the naked eye, and the wound on Longchen's body is healing rapidly. The most gratifying thing for Longchen is that the dead branches he planted also began to sprout, and the golden buds gushed out from the dead branches. At this moment, Longchen was very excited. In this way, I would have endless fire of the sun and the sun. The endless breath of life was constantly released, and soon the whole chaotic space was filled with misty breath, and the whole world was like a chaos. The corpse carried such a terrible and chaotic atmosphere. Dragon Dust suddenly found that the corpse not only released the endless gas of life, but also released the powerful gas of chaos. However, after the air of chaos was released, it was locked in the chaotic space, and his body could not absorb it. Are you going to keep it for yourself? It seemed that he could not help but murmured to himself. In less than a stick of incense, the chaotic space has returned to its original shape, and the seedlings of Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient tree are also growing slowly and have grown to the height of Chisu. They are wrapped in black and gold flame respectively. Although they are in the bud stage, the flame has sent out strong waves. Dragon Dust, the land of heaven's burial is broken, the laws of heaven and earth have changed, and treasure lands have been born one after another. What shall we do next? Yu Xiaoqian said, Go and seek treasure, absorb the chi of chaos, and condense the crown of heaven. Dragon Dust Road. And you? Yu Xiaoqian can't help asking. When I was casting my eyes of purgatory, I saw a world where there seemed to be something calling me. I would like to see it. Dragon dust. Take out the eye mask, will still be bleeding, left eye wrapped up, one eye looking at a direction, murmuring tunnel. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3860. With the eyes of purgatory, the dragon dust shattered the shadow behind the dragon-proud sky, and also the law of heaven. From the endless space cracks, dragon dust sensed a strange wave, which made him feel very familiar. The old man of Tiantong smashed the cage of heaven and earth, and the heaven and earth changed. The breath became more intense, and the spirit of dragon dust was hooked, forcing Longchen to go to see it. I also feel the call. Within the 3000 world, the inheritance left by the powerful people of the original demon clan has also appeared. Yu Xiaoqian said. Xiaoqian, then you hurry to go, don't be beat by others. Dragon Dust Road. But Yu Xiaoqian is a little worried about the tunnel. Now Longchen, although her wound has recovered, her breath is still very weak. She is afraid that Longchen will encounter other terrorist opponents. I'm fine. I'll look for a place to heal. It's almost as good as it is. I'll go to that place again. Longchen laughs. I also smell the breath of treasure. This time is absolutely a big deal. Mo Nian said with a smile. Why didn't I sense it? Guoran is a little uncomfortable. I didn't either. Summer Morning Rai smile Wei. Hee, it doesn't matter. I have a very sensitive sense of smell of treasures. If we three brothers cooperate, isn't the treasure ours? Mo Nian frowned at the tunnel. Ha, it's right. Follow Mo Nian. The treasure has fate with us. Guoran said with a smile. That's right. I tell you, I smell the breath of ancient tombs. Mo Nian just said this. Xia Chen and Guoran's faces suddenly changed. The burial place on that day had already made them die. They were all afraid. Mo Nian even wanted to keep them to dig the tomb. See two people change color. Mo Nian quickly wave hand Wei. You don't worry, this is not a celestial burial, absolutely not so dangerous, I promise. See Mo Red such a say, two people immediately hesitated. Mo Red treasure is too much, say not greedy, that is a lie. Mo Nian also said that he wanted to give them some treasures, but both of them were embarrassed. After all, they were very respectable people. They always felt embarrassed to ask for other people's things. But with Mo Nian cooperation, we work together, get the baby, we share the spoils, then there is no problem. However, this was the first time they followed Mo Nian, but they entered the land of heaven's burial. Although the harvest was amazing, the adventure they experienced along the way was also frightening. But the brilliance of the treasure always gives people a fatal temptation. When Mo Nian mentioned this, they were immediately moved again. But what about the brothers in the city? Let them go with us to the grave robbery? Summer Morning asked. Summer Morning, this question immediately puzzled Mo Nian. If you take so many people to move, I am afraid it will be very inconvenient. Let your brothers of the Dragon Blood Army stay in place. When you have finished handling the matter, let them draw dragon blood with you. This is the words of the strong people of the Dragon Clan, which suddenly reaches the mind of Longchen. Longchen doesn't quite understand the intention of the strong Dragon Clan, but when the strong Dragon Clan speaks, he is not easy to ask. Before, the strong dragon asked him not to compete with Long Outyin, so he didn't listen to it. Obviously, it made the strong Dragon Clan unhappy. Now it's better to be obedient. Dragon Dust let everyone busy their own Dragon Blood Army in the city, waiting for his order. In this way, everyone parted ways. Yu Xiaoqian reluctantly left, and Mo Nian left with them. Everyone did not dare to delay the time, because we all know that the chaotic air is just a small-scale explosion. When the last chaotic air flow of the 3000 world breaks out, it is the day when the whole world's Tianjiao gathers. At that time, it is the real time of bloody war and grave. Before Xiaoqian left, he left a lot of runes and seal characters for Longchen, especially for various transmission symbols. Now Longchen is weak and needs these things. After they left, it was not suitable to stay here for a long time. Long Chen directly launched the teleportation symbol and left the original place. Master, he'll go to a place first, and he'll get your dragon scale right away. As Long Chen galloped, he preached to the strong men of the dragon clan. Do you need to report to me when you're so strong? The strong man of the dragon clan hummed coldly. Obviously, because of the disobedience of the dragon dust, it was very uncomfortable. No matter how strong I am not as good as you. Without you, I will die in Tianwu land. I don't know how many times. Long Chen laughs and flatters me first. Don't do that. You are a stubborn donkey with your tail on. You tell me it's useless to spell like that? Now it has become a one-eyed dragon again, which has disrupted my plan. You have become my dragon king, and many changes have taken place. The strong people of the dragon nationality have no good manners. The younger generation is reckless. Long Chen was helpless. Let's be fair to say that we only fight for the power of blood. Can you spell dragon out, Yin? Asked the strong dragon. Long Chen is silent. Indeed, he is only fighting for the power of blood. He is really not the opponent of Long Outyin. Although he wins in the end, he does lose on the basis of blood. At the beginning, he wanted to defeat Long Outyin with his physical strength to prove that he could suppress him even if he had no supreme blood. Even if you win him in the end, it's useless. Even if he lies there and asks you to kill him, do you dare to kill him? Asked the strong dragon. Why not? Long Chen can't help asking. Why not? Are you a pig? If you kill him, how can your spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone be taken back? Is it for the purpose of cramping and peeling skin, breaking up the pieces, and collecting his body, even if it is taken back? The strong man of the dragon clan cursed. This. Long Chen was stunned. When he met Long Outyin, his head was blank and he wanted to kill him. He didn't think so much. Now, after being reminded by the strong man of the dragon clan, he understood the meaning of the strong man of the dragon clan. The so-called recapture of the strong man of the dragon clan is to reintegrate his own spiritual blood, spirit root, and spirit bone, and take back all his magic powers. Master, you mean I can still? Long Chen's heart leaped wildly, and his excited voice trembled when he thought of the divine power of Dragon Aocean's colorful supreme blood and purple blood. The strong man of the dragon nationality said, Is this nonsense? What you have is yours, no matter how strong it becomes, as long as the property is returned to its original owner, everything, even the principal and interest, is yours. Now your spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone are only temporarily put in his place, which means someone is helping you keep it. Taigu Dragon family, with abundant strength and endless resources, let him support you first. Your spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone are not mature yet. If you take it back, even if I have a way to let you merge, the spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone will be greatly damaged, and even there is the possibility of degradation, it will be too uneconomical. After listening to the words of the strong man of the dragon clan, Long Chen was so excited that he almost cried. He even had a chance to fuse the spirit blood, spirit root and spirit bone again. He didn't care how powerful these things were, but because they were given to him by his parents and he had to take them back. All right, don't get excited. Time is running out. Go where you want to go. The strong man of the dragon race urged. Long Chen promised, cleaned up a mood and flew away. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3861. Master, do you know what calls me? Long Chen asked as he galloped. No, the strong people of the dragon nationality have a light tunnel. Can you tell me something to the younger generation? Long Chen asked tentatively. I told you, you will think it was arranged by me. You will find me wordy, and even your stubborn donkey will fight against me. The strong people of the dragon nationality have no good manners. Long Chen was embarrassed for a moment, but he was not angry. He knew that the strong man of the dragon clan had an amazing origin and his strength was terrible. This was a very terrible existence. The dragon race itself is a proud race. It points to the dragon dust, but the dragon dust does not appreciate it. This is a violation to it, and it is naturally very uncomfortable. The elder is joking. I'm actually quite receptive to other people's ideas. After all, I'm well fed after listening to people's advice. Long Chen is sorry for the tunnel. Come on, I can see through it. Once you get into the top of the horn, no one wants to pull it back. However, although your temper makes me angry, sometimes I like it. If you recognize one thing, you will not be easily shaken. Your personality is simple and clear, and you love and hate clearly. Although sometimes you are so stupid that you can make your teeth itch, most of the performance is still satisfactory. The strong of the dragon race. In fact, I am this character. I can't help it. It's easy to change my character, but I can't change my nature. That's all. Don't take a common view with me. After listening to the tone of the strong people of the Dragon Clan becoming peaceful, Long Chen laughs, which shows that the strong people of the Dragon Clan are not really angry. What do you think? Am I so mean? The strong man of the dragon nationality disdained to say, some things I see in my eyes, just don't want to say it. I'm very disgusted with Terrans, but I don't know about Terrans. I want to know from you why Terrans are called the most complex creatures in the world, claiming to have the power to destroy the whole world. But you are a wonderful flower. Sometimes you are so smart and sometimes you are so stupid that I really can't understand your people. Long Chen suddenly felt embarrassed. He didn't know whether he was praising him or scolding him. For a while, he didn't know how to answer the call. For a while, Long Chen didn't know what to say and continued to fly forward according to the induction, while his mind was immersed in the chaotic space. In today's chaotic space, all things are growing crazily. The trees of Taiyin and Fusang have grown to 3 feet high. Long Chen carefully took out the dagger, cut off the saplings of an ancient Taiyin wood, and inserted the upper part into the soil. Long Chen found that half of the seedlings inserted into the soil quickly gave birth to fibrous roots. The chaotic space is so magical that it can also be used. With this experience, Long Chen began to cut off the Taiyin wood and divide it into small sections, so that more Taiyin trees could be planted. In the chaotic space, the spirit of life is very rich to the extreme. Even the legendary species of Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient wood are growing at a speed visible to the naked eye. But in the black soil that Archean evil corpse, the appearance has not changed, is still releasing the life gas unceasingly. Its life gas is too amazing. It not only releases the breath of life, but also releases the majestic atmosphere of chaos. Only when the chaos gas appears, it is absorbed by the chaotic space itself, and the chaotic space itself is quietly changing, but it is not felt by dragon dust. Long Chen was busy in the chaotic space. The trees of Taiyin and Fusang kept growing and were intercepted and transplanted by Long Chen. However, after planting, Long Chen suddenly found that the old trees of Taiyin and Fusang planted again could not survive. They were buried in the soil and began to rot and eventually disappeared. Since it had chaotic space, it was the first time that Long Chen encountered this phenomenon. He was shocked. Whether it's a tree of the sun or a tree of the sun, only 3,000 trees can be planted in one side of the world, and no more will be planted. This is what the law of the Great Road says. The voice of the strong dragon people came. The law of the road? 3,000 boulevard? 3,000 worlds? What's the connection? Long Chen can't help but shock the tunnel. You'd better study this kind of thing by yourself. There are many numbers in this world, which are full of mystery. The road is not in words. You can only understand it by yourself. The strong of the dragon race. Long Chen nodded. Obviously, this may involve the secrets of the whole world, and the strong dragon clan is not easy to say. The dragon dust counted it. As the strong man of the dragon clan said, the trees of Taiyin and Fusang reached 3,000, and the 3,001 tree could not be planted. Long Chen sighs in his heart that there are too many secrets in this world, just like a vast ocean. However, he is just a boat, fighting to cross the sea. What he has learned is just a drop in the ocean. The unknown world is awe-inspiring. In the chaotic space, Long Chen planted 3,000 ancient Taiyin trees and 3,000 Fusang ancient trees. As they kept absorbing the chi of life, they had grown to a height of about 10 meters. They are twined with gold and black flames, which are the fire of the sun and the fire of the sun. Huolinger is now a 10-foot-long dragon. Her whole body is almost transparent. Obviously, the joint attack with the dragon dust has consumed almost all her strength. At this time, she is in a period of extreme weakness. Huolinger looks at these Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient wood with saliva. Well, almost, you can slowly absorb the power of their fire to recover. However, each plant can only take a small mouthful and take turns to smoke, so as not to affect their growth. After all, there are green hills left, and there is no fear that there will be no firewood, Longchen said to Huolinger. Huolinger was suddenly overjoyed. She rushed to a Taiyin ancient wood and took a breath. The flame on the sapling was darkened a lot, but Huolinger's body was solidified. Obviously, this little flame is very considerable to Huolinger. The fire of Taiyin is too strong, even if it is so weak, but for Huolinger, it is also a big tonic. It can completely recover from the fire. It can start to devour the fire. It has to be said that the Taiyin wood and the ancient Fusang wood are too strong. The accompanying flame alone is already priceless, let alone the grown-up ones. Longchen has made a lot of money in the land of celestial burial this time. Thinking of this harvest, Longchen suddenly remembered the bronze ancient tripod, and his mind turned from chaos space to soul space. In the soul sea of dragon dust, in front of the gate of Shengguan, the bronze ancient tripod floats quietly there, without any change or fluctuation. Even the dragon dust can't sense its fluctuation. Strange, don't you recognize the Lord? Why can't I feel you at all? Looking at the bronze tripod, Longchen can't help but ask. He is communicating with it with his own soul. It's useless. It's in a deep sleep now. It's totally instinctive to recognize the Lord. With your soul power now, it's not enough to wake it up, boy. Your biggest harvest this time, is it? Hey, wait, it will give you endless surprise. The strong man of the dragon clan said with a smile. Boom. All of a sudden, there was a roar in front of him. The spirit of dragon dust withdrew from the soul space. In front of him was a desolate land. On the void, there appeared a gap-like crack, just like the scar of heaven and earth, ferocious and terrifying. In the crack, the blade of endless space is rolling, and lightning is surging, like the devil's mouth, showing fangs to the dragon dust. Arrived, Longchen looked at the crack, took a deep breath, and then stepped into the space crack. Dragon dust. When dragon dust stepped into the space crack, a strange voice came. When Longchen heard the sound, he was shocked. He could not believe his eyes. The Patriarch, in Chinese www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3862. There was a twisted void in front of Longchen, just like a flowing stream. Through the twisted void, Longchen saw a vague figure and a door of emptiness, standing in front of the gate of emptiness. It was not very clear, but Longchen understood why he felt the familiar breath in a moment, because the man standing opposite the twisted space was Luo Zichuan, the patriarch of Luo nationality. It seems that you are the one who was born with me before. Unexpectedly, I met you here. Luo Zichuan looked at Longchen across the void, and his face showed a happy smile. You are growing up again, stronger and stronger, very good, very good. Patriarch, why are you here? Longchen was so excited that he unexpectedly ran into Luo Zichuan here. He was just about to walk by, but he heard Luo Zichuan say, Don't move. The distance between you and me seems very close, but actually it is far away. If you take a wrong step, you don't know where you will be swept by the turbulence of space. You concentrate on your breath, let your breath fluctuate with the surrounding space, form a resonance, do not resist. When you can make space move through your body, it'll teach you how to walk. After listening to Luo Zichuan's words, Longchen calmed down his excitement and gradually adapted himself to the surrounding spatial fluctuations in accordance with Luo Zichuan's method. Soon, when the fluctuation of qi and blood and soul in Longchen's body was consistent with the fluctuation of the surrounding space, strange things happened. It seemed that the force of the surrounding space could pass through his body, and he was as if he had integrated into this space. Well, then explore the surroundings with the power of soul and see if you can find anything. Luo Zichuan Road. Footprints, purple footprints. Dragon Dust Road. Very good, according to my mark, step by step, do not go wrong. Luo Zichuan Road. Long Chen nodded and walked carefully according to the purple footprints in the void. These purple footprints were left by Luo Zichuan, guiding Long Chen to go. These footprints are very strange. They look like 7 twists and 8 twists, and they look like they have drawn a great arc. However, when they walk up, they find that they are moving forward in a straight line. Along the footprints, Long Chen quickly passed through the chaotic area and came to Luo Zichuan. Luo Zichuan's style was still the same, but in the depth of his eyes, there was a touch of tired color. Seeing his grandfather, Long Chen hastened to salute. Luo Zichuan was also a little excited. It was unexpected for him to see Long Chen here. "How could you be here?" Luo Zichuan asked. Long Chen said once about the opening of the 3,000 worlds. Luo Zichuan nodded. "So it is. The 3,000 worlds have come and squeezed the space. No wonder the turbulent flow of space here is becoming more and more active." Long Chen looked at the door of space behind Luo Zichuan. Seeing numerous purple runes on the door of space, he could not help asking, "Patriarch, is this what you built? Are you going to enter the 3,000 world?" Luo Zichuan shook his head and said, "I built the gate of space, but it leads to another world. You've come very well. You can do me a big favor. By the way, what's wrong with your eyes? Will it affect your combat effectiveness?" Luo Zichuan sees dragon dust and eye to wrap up, some strange. "It's nothing. It's just that I've had a little eye injury, which doesn't affect my combat effectiveness. However, I just went through a big war, and now I haven't recovered to the peak state. Give me a day's time, it's almost like that." Long Chen is in a hurry. Luo Zichuan nodded. "Good, then you start to recover now. When you return to the peak state, we 2 people join hands to see if we can open the seal of God." Long Chen didn't know what the seal was in Luo Zichuan's mouth, but he didn't ask much. He sat on the ground and began to recover quickly. Long Chen's wound on his body has already recovered, but his soul is in great deficit. If he wants to show his strongest state, he must make his soul recover completely. When the dragon dust is recovering, Luo Zichuan is also recovering. He has endless purple qi circulation and powerful qi and blood power. I don't know how many times stronger than Long Outyin. If you let Long Outyin see Luo Zichuan, he will be surprised, because in Luo Zichuan's qi and blood, countless runes are flashing. Each rune is like a world. They are connected with each other and echo with each other. The runes flash like a sea of stars, containing endless power. Compared with Luo Zichuan, Long Aotian's power of purple blood is just like a plate of loose sand. He can't give full play to the real power of purple blood. There is a general gap between the two. One day later, Long Chen wakes up from the closed gate. At this time, he is in a perfect state. At this time, he wants to fight with Long Outyin again. However, when Long Chen saw the boundless purple sea behind Luo Zichuan, he couldn't help but jump wildly. As the fairyland, the power of Luo Zichuan's qi and blood was simply terrible, just like a universe in front of him, which was shocking and moving. Is this the real power of purple blood? It's almost invincible blood. Feeling the terrible blood pressure, Long Chen's heart leaped wildly. Nonsense. Invincible blood is the blood of my real dragon family. What do you know? The voice of dissatisfaction from the strong people of the dragon clan. It is obvious that the tone of the dragon dust makes it a little uncomfortable. When you get my Dragon King scale, you will understand what is invincible blood. At this time, Luo Zichuan also wakes up from the closed, put away the purple blood vision behind. At this time, he, more and more spirit, such as the long sword out of the sheath, sharp. Dragon dust in the door of this space is the seal of God. The seal of God has its own world, and there are endless corpse demons in it. After I left the Luo people, I came here. I killed the corpse demons every day. Just a month ago, I finally killed all the corpse demons in the Billion Kingdom realm. But in the last 18 gods, I had 3 attacks and failed. Luo Zichuan looked at the door of the space in front of him. His face was dignified. I'm afraid the corpse demons are not ordinary. Dragon Dust Road. All the corpse demons in the 1 billion kingdom realm are the most powerful ones, while the 18 powerful ones in the divine realm are bipolar supreme. Luo Zichuan Road. Dragon Dust startled, the most powerful one in the billion kingdom? There are also 18 bipolar supremacies in the divine realm? The space sealed by the seal of God is the channel of our purple blood people. We purple blood people have been sealed in the channel for hundreds of millions of years, unable to advance or retreat. The pain is unimaginable. As descendants of purple blood, we must spare no effort to save our ancestors. Let's go. Today, let's join hands to fight with all our strength. Luo Zichuan finished with the dragon dust, stepped into the door of space, just entered the door of space, fierce cutting gas came. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3863. The dragon dust has just entered the door of space, and endless killing and cutting gas is coming. They are like falling into the ice cellar, and their skin is cold. If you look at it, there are endless corpses, like a vast ocean, like a rolling mountain, stretching to the end of the line of sight. These corpses are terrifying demons, and they are all powerful masters of the supreme level. The ancient runes on their bodies exude a savage spirit, which is very similar to the corpse demons in the land of celestial burial. In other words, these big demons are all different species of ancient times. The big demon in ancient times is more powerful than the big demon now. I don't know how many times. There are so many dead here. Most of the bodies were incomplete, and some were even split into 2 pieces by a sharp blade. On the wounds of these corpses, there is a purple divine light. Long Chen knows that these big demons are all killed by Luo Zichuan. And Luo Zichuan's hands are clean and neat. Looking at those wounds, Long Chen can even imagine that he killed the big demon like melons and vegetables. Before Long Chen came to the Luo family, he was forced by Luo Zichuan to fight back with Luo Zichuan. At that time, Long Chen thought that Luo Zichuan was only relying on the realm to suppress himself. But now that Long Chen has been promoted to the King of Immortals, he knows that Luo Zichuan is such a terrible existence. Looking at those smooth wounds like a mirror, Long Chen knows that it is a phenomenon that only when the power is highly concentrated and there is no leakage of power. It's not difficult to concentrate the power highly, but it's hard to cut off the Taiga demon's own life rune and strong defense, without any leakage of power. The power of Long Chen is extremely powerful, and he thinks that he can control all of them. However, at this level, Long Chen can't kill him. This is already a micro-level control, which requires the control of strength, the fluctuation of soul and rich combat experience to reach the perfect state. This level is no longer achieved by strong talent, but requires endless time to practice. This kind of control is close to the end of the Tao and cannot be touched. Hoo. When Long Chen saw these bodies, he was shocked at first, then his eyes flashed. He reached out and threw the bodies into the chaotic space. In the black soil of the chaotic space of dragon dust, the evil corpse from the place of celestial burial was only half decomposed. It was too slow to decompose, which also showed that the corpse was too strong, so strong that even the black soil's phagocytic capacity was reduced a lot. However, these corpses entered the black soil, and the black soil quickly devoured them. Although they were not as strong as the evil corpses in the land of heaven burial, they were engulfed very fast. Moreover, the number of them was so large that they released more life chi than the evil corpses in the burial place that day. With the injection of these corpses, the wood of Taiyin and the ancient wood of Fusang are growing rapidly. Even the Qibao glaze tree in the core area is gradually becoming larger and more mysterious. What do you want these bodies for? After seeing the dragon dust enter, just like seeing treasure, put these corpses away, Luo Zichuan can't help but ask. Fertilizer, these bodies are too important to me. Long Chen said with a smile, because of this short time of Kung Fu, Taiyin wood and Fusang ancient would have grown to 10 zhang high. The flame on them became more and more intense, and the flame fluctuated more and more strongly. Hualinger had already recovered, but now the fire of the sun was getting stronger and stronger. Her coke was broken and she kept absorbing the power of these flames. She has now become a landlord, and the trees of Taiyin and Fusang have become its fruit trees, constantly eating their fruits. And Hualinger is also very smart. Each tree only sucks a small mouthful, does not affect their growth. As it absorbs the fire of the sun, her breath becomes more and more powerful. She uses the fire of the sun as nourishment to nourish her ice soul. The power of her origin becomes more and more powerful, and the speed of improvement is amazing. Long Chen walked all the way and collected the corpses. All of them were put into the chaotic space by the dragon dust. Some of them were hundreds of miles long, others were thousands of miles long. At the core of chaos space, a huge corpse mountain was piled up, and it took some time to digest the terrifying speed of the black earth. Soon, there was a gate to the sky in front of it. There was a round seal on it. On the seal, there are 18 ancient animal totems. The magic light of these totems is flowing, as if they are alive. When the dragon dust approaches, the terror of killing will lock the dragon dust. This is the seal of God, which is sealed with 18 ancient animal corpses and demons. Different from those big demons, they have endless demonic chi. They are bipolar supreme combined with evil chi and demon blood. They are both powerful and powerful. I ran through 3 times and all ended in failure. The first time I was almost killed by them. Don't be careless. Once you do, you should try your best. Luo Zichuan looked at the totem road above the gate seriously. Patriarch, is it too hard for us to compete in this realm? Long Chen couldn't help asking. Luo Zichuan said, there's no way. If you want to activate this seal, you can only cultivate in the fairyland. If it wasn't for this restriction, I would not have sealed my accomplishments. At first, I planned to follow Ningxuang. Speaking of this, Luo Zichuan suddenly stops talking, but Long Chen already understands that Luo Zichuan is going to open the seal with his mother and the children born to her mother in the future. Unfortunately, Long Chen's mother fled to the next term, married Long Zhantian and gave birth to Long Chen, which completely broke Luo Zichuan's plan for countless years. He suddenly shut up. He didn't want to make Long Chen feel guilty. He continued, these 18 corpse demons are extremely fierce, but I have figured out their rules after 3 battles. I found that the 18 corpse demons together will form an array. Their chi and blood are connected with each other. The power of the 18 corpse demons can be linked together in a moment. For the first time, I suffered a great loss and nearly lost my life. Do the 18 bipolar supremacy know the art of joint attack? Dragon Dust scared a big jump. The power of 18 corpse demons gathered together. Who can resist? Luo Zichuan unexpectedly caught such a terrible blow. In a moment, he'll open the array. He'll use the secret method to hold 17 of them. You, with all your strength, must kill a corpse demon. As long as you kill 1 corpse demon, the 18 corpse demon array will be broken. In that way, we can break the array Luo Zichuan wrote. Patriarch, is this okay? Long Chen's heart leaps wildly. Luo Zichuan wants to deal with 17 horrible corpse demons alone. Long Chen is a little worried. Luo Zichuan smiles and pats Long Chen on the shoulder and says, come on, with words. Luo Zichuan holds a crepe myrtle magic knife, and the purple chi is released like the tide. The sky and the earth are covered by the endless purple gas and go straight to the seal. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3864. Are you ready? When Luo Zichuan is less than 100 miles away from the gate, he stops and looks at the dragon dust road. Long Chen nodded and took a deep breath. The 7 color rings behind open the heaven and earth, the 7 colors flow, the void trembles, the vast force tears the sky, and the pressure is mercilessly squeezed in all directions, making the laws here roar ceaselessly. When Luo Zichuan saw the purple in the dragon dust god ring, a strange ripple flashed in his eyes. His eyes were somewhat complicated. 7-star battle body open, Dragon Dust stopped drinking. In front of Luo Zichuan, he had nothing to hide. 7 stars above the divine ring lit up. At that moment, all the power of Dragon Dust was ignited in an instant. Boom! Like a volcanic eruption, the power of Dragon Dust has reached its peak in an instant. Before, Longchen could only open 1 star at a time. However, after the last battle with Long Outyen, his power has been fully penetrated, and he can explode with all his strength without worrying that his body can't bear it. In the divine ring, an endless sea of stars emerges, with 108,000 stars twinkling, and a sea of stars appears above the sky, as if the sky and universe were shrouded in the earth, overlooking the eternal sky. At that moment, Luo Zichuan finally moved. His eyes showed a color of shock. The power of Dragon Dust, more powerful than he imagined. Your potential is very amazing. Unfortunately, your purple chi is not enough. If you have the purple blood of our Luo family to help you, your strength can be increased by at least 10 times, and your control power can be increased 100 times. Luo Zichuan looks at the purple air in the starry sea behind the Dragon Dust, and his eyes are full of regret. He is a peerless strong man. You can see the short board of Dragon Dust at a glance. Although the breath of Dragon Dust is strong and the strength is amazing, the whole body strength is leaking out. Although Longchen thinks he can control it, in Luo Zichuan's eyes, this kind of control is not worth the same. If the strength is not effectively controlled, less than 50% of the strength falls on the opponent. When your power erupts, the oppression of the law and the resistance of space will virtually drain most of your strength. For example, if you strike with all your strength, even if it is a small bullet, it will let your strength drain a lot. Especially at the moment when the attack is launched, the power begins to leak out. Even if it is just a trace of leakage, it will lead to a big discount when the final power bursts out. Try a chop Luo Zichuan road. Bang! The Dragon Dust wields a knife. The void is surging, the air is gushing. A knife shadow penetrates the heaven and earth, and cuts the earth into a gap tens of thousands of miles deep, which is extremely amazing. After seeing the sword of Dragon Dust, Luo Zichuan shook his head. You have a body of strength, but you can't use it. It seems that last time I taught you. Although you are rejected by the way of heaven, not all the ways of heaven repel you. Last time, you found some feelings when you made a knife, and now that feeling has completely disappeared. Your strength becomes stronger, and you begin to try to suppress the way of heaven. In this way, the way of heaven becomes your resistance. You are like waving a long sword in the water. The greater your power, the greater the suppression. I see, Longchen said with shame. He closed his eyes and calmed his mind. After a while, he cut again. The Dragon Dust falls again. This knife uses the same strength as the previous one, but the roar of this one is much smaller than that of the last one, and the speed is also a little faster. The earth has also been cut out of a gap, but the gap is much narrower and deeper than the previous one. Looking at Longchen's knife, Luo Zichuan nodded and said, "You are very smart. You can see through a little bit. This knife is very good. However, in the face of the corpse demons for a while, we can't see enough. If we can't kill them once, we can only retreat immediately. They won't give us a second chance. There is infinite power in this seal. If a corpse demon is injured, all of them will return to the seal. The injured will recover in an instant, and then the 18 corpse demons will kill you in full power." Longchen can't help but take a breath of cold air. The seal not only limits the intruder's accomplishments, but also has the ability to repair terror. It's really abnormal. Dragon Dust, you don't have the power of purple blood, and you can't control it absolutely. However, the power of your soul is very strong. Don't look at the target when you are out of the knife. Concentrate all your mind on the blade. This will minimize breath leakage. This is a kind of attack that doesn't conform to the common sense. It can't be used against the enemy at ordinary times. However, in an extraordinary period, we can only use extraordinary methods. Come on, try it. Luo Zichuan road. Hiss. According to Luo Zichuan's instructions, Longchen's mind sank into the edge of the blade, regardless of anything. After a knife was cut down, the void only made a light sound, just like a thin piece of paper, which was cut into two pieces. On the earth, a gap only 10 zhang wide was cut out. The ditch cut by Long Chen's first knife was as wide as 100 li, the second one was only dozens of li, and the third one was only 10 zhang wide. Long Chen understood at once. The more concentrated the power is, the higher the damage will be. The reason why those archaic demons killed by Luo Zichuan will have that kind of wound is done in this way. Luo Zichuan's strength is highly concentrated. Even if there are runes, leather armor and bone blocks, he still can't disperse his power. Therefore, there are wounds like cutting tofu with a sharp knife. And listen to Luo Zichuan's tone. If he has purple blood, he can improve his control power by 100 times. Even if he can't reach his level, it should be no less than good. Damn it, Long Aoyan, you wait for me. My things are deposited with you. When it's time, even the principal and interest will be returned to me. Dragon dust at this time for their own purple blood, more eager. He now knows how terrible the purple blood is, not only purple blood, but also colorful supreme blood, as well as his spirit root and spirit bone. Damn it, I really don't want to work hard. As long as I get my things back, he'll be invincible in the world and he'll make a fuss? Luo Zichuan's words interrupted Long Chen's wishful thinking. Because the mind is all concentrated, the power of the soul is concentrated on the blade, you can't lock the target. So, before you do it later, you should mark the target first so that you don't have to cut it askew. Is that okay? No problem, Long Chen is very confident. He has Hua Linger and Lei Linger, so he can't be sure. Let's get started. Luo Zichuan took a step forward. At the moment when he took a step, 18 totems glowed on the seal, and then 18 monsters rushed out of the totems. Roar! The roar of the monsters was deafening. 18 fierce monsters, like 18 sharp swords, rushed to stab them at the same time. At that moment, the terrible pressure made the dragon dust unable to move. He was locked. This attack was unavoidable and had to be hard connected. After connecting the 18 bipolar supreme levels, the cultivation has reached the level of God's reverence. Is there a way to survive? At this time, Zichuan of the Luo nationality moved. His hands were stamped, and his movements were calm. A purple blood shield condensed in front of him and ran against the 18 divine lights. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3865, Purple Blood Yushin. Luo Zichuan stopped drinking, and the huge blood shield in his hand hit the 18 divine lights. Boom! A startling explosion broke the 18 divine lights, and the purple blood shield in Luo Zichuan's hand also broke with it, and unexpectedly took the blow. At the same time, the bloody shield burst into a bloody chain and entangled with those big demons. The purple blood sea behind Luo Zichuan was tumbling with all its strength, and the world roared. Boom boom. The blood-colored chains pierced through the void. Those big demons have just made a strike. When the old force is not gone and the new force is not born, they are entangled in the chain. They are frantically struggling, and the chain is pulled straight in an instant. Boom! These big demons struggled wildly, and suddenly a big demon roared and roared to the sky. His wings spread the heaven and earth, broke the chains on his body and rushed out. It's a tiger with 2 wings. Its runes are bright. It's made of gold. It's deadly. However, when it broke through the shackles of Luo Zichuan, the breath of other 17 big demons suddenly decreased a few points. Long Chen understands that this is what Luo Zichuan said. These 18 demons will have strange array, and can concentrate the power of the 18 monsters on one body. The fourth move of opening the sky, the dragon dust broke off and roared out with a roar of the Hongdao. The shadow of 1,000 li sword tore the sky. The power of qi and blood, the power of stars and the qi of 9 stars all gathered in this saber. Boom! The double-winged tiger was cut right in the right direction. The Minghong sword was cut on the tiger's head. Long Chen's arm was shaking, and the mouth of the tiger was shaking with blood. Minghong Dao fell into the skull of the tiger and could not be pulled out. Roar! With the roar of the 2 winged tigers, white light appeared in the mouth, and a fist-sized light ball emerged. As soon as the light ball appeared, it soared to the size of 100 li. The light ball appeared, and the terror of destruction made the world tremble, and the death threat shrouded the dragon dust in an instant. Mi Shi Huoyan, Long Chen had been prepared for a long time. A flame lotus flower, which had been stored for a long time in his left hand, shot out. Before the light ball of the tiger with wings could not be spit out, it was hit by a fist-sized flame lotus flower. Boom! Before the light ball could be spit out from the mouth of the winged tiger, it was detonated by the flame lotus flower, with a startling explosion. The light ball broke and the head of the two-winged tiger was blown to pieces. The dragon dust opened the flame shield, and was still shocked by the terrible aftershock. His chi and blood were rolling. He almost didn't vomit blood. The strike of the tiger with two wings was too terrible. Continue. Luo Zichuan's face changed and he cried out. The dragon dust was also surprised. The big demon's head was broken, but it didn't die. Its fatal place was not the crystal nucleus, but the inner elixir. If the totem flies into the dust of Zichuan again, it will burst into pieces in time. The dragon dust starts the thunder, and the second one comes first, blocks in front of the totem, and Minghong's sword cuts down again. After cutting off with a knife, Long Chen recites the sutra, and tens of thousands of miles of blood-colored lotus flowers condense on the palm of Long Chen's hand and pats down on the two winged tigers. Boom! The first sword of dragon dust did not condense into a thin line as Luo Zichuan said. Instead, it attacked a very large area, just to slow down the speed of the winged tiger and gain time. The white fire lotus in the hands of Long Chen is the real killing move. The dragon dust is connected with the soul power of Huolinger and makes full efforts to fight. As soon as the tiger with two wings rushed to the front of the dragon dust, it was engulfed by the white lotus. The terrible white flame swept the whole world. Boom! The body of the two-winged tiger was shocked to fly out. To Long Chen's surprise, the body of the two-winged tiger was shaken to pieces, but its skeleton did not disperse. There was an internal elixir in the core of the skeleton, which was flashing with divine brilliance. If Naiden is not destroyed, the two-winged tigers will not die. Long Chen is shocked. I'm afraid that the body of the tiger is no less than that of the 72 corpse demons in the land of heaven burial. Poof! Suddenly, a long purple knife was cut down quietly. The tiger with two wings was cut into two pieces by one knife, and Naiden burst into pieces. It was Luo Zichuan who made the move. Poof! Luo Zichuan suddenly burst into a gush of blood. He suppressed the 17 Archean demons. Now he helped Long Chen. When his strength was dispersed, he was recoiled by the power of the 17 Archean demons and was immediately injured. Outside the Patriarch, Long Chen was surprised, angry, and ashamed. Luo Zichuan suppressed 17 Archean demons alone. He needed Luo Zichuan to attack one, and he also hurt Luo Zichuan. Long Chen was furious, and Minghong's sword roared. At this moment, the 17 Archean demons roared and killed, and he was about to rush up. Don't be rash. Luo Zichuan was moved and angry when he saw that Long Chen was intrepid and fearless to rush to the 17 Archean demons. Long Chen protected him and gave up his life. This is the true nature of a man. But it is no different from dying. It is too stupid. Purple blood connects heaven and earth, and law leads heaven and earth. Luo Zichuan stopped drinking, and the purple chi billowed, forming a huge spider web in front of the dragon dust. Boom! The 17 divine lights hit the spider web at the same time, and the purple air of the spider web billows. All the forces shoot out in 8 directions along the 8 main lines of the spider web. The power of the 17 Archean monsters was thus divided into 8 parts and was introduced into heaven and earth. The dust was flying and the void was roaring. The whole world was turned upside down in an instant. Luo Zichuan sacrificed the magic power of purple blood and resisted the attack with ingenuity and resolved the crisis. Poof! The purple magic light filled the air when the crepe myrtle was cut off with a long knife. An archaic monster was cut open with a knife, and the magic crystal was broken and died instantly. Work together and kill them as fast as you can. Luo Zichuan cheered. The dragon's dust roared out, and a knife was cut on a big demon. The demon was shocked by the dragon dust, and his body shook. Poof! At this time, Luo Zichuan cut down with a knife, and the demon was split into two parts by his knife. Luo Zichuan's long dao had no shadow of the sword and no dao qi. All the sharp points were concentrated on the blade, without any leakage. The purple spirit was blessed and could not be resisted. Longchen is powerful, but he can't control the level of Luo Zichuan. He is responsible for creating opportunities, and Luo Zichuan is responsible for killing. Boom! The two of them cooperated with each other. One big demon fell down one after another. When the last one was killed, Longchen almost lost his strength. The intensity of the battle was no less than that between him and Long Outyin. After continuous hard work, Long Chen's arms almost couldn't be lifted up, and his body seemed to fall apart. These big demons were too terrible. After resting for a while, Luo Zichuan went to the gate. The seal totem on the gate slowly dissipated. He took a deep breath and clapped his hands on the gate. Suddenly, the gate trembled, and the endless purple air gushed out of Luo Zichuan's body, and instantly filled the whole gate. Poof! Suddenly, a mouthful of blood gushed from Luo Zichuan, and the man was shot out by the gate. Patriarch Dragon Dust was shocked and quickly reached out to help Luo Zichuan. Do you want to give up all your efforts? Luo Zichuan looked at the gate, his eyes filled with anger and unwillingness. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3866. At this time, Luo Zichuan's chest was stained with blood, and the whole person lost a lot of weight in an instant, and his qi and blood became extremely weak, as if he had been taken out of the majority. Long Chen held Luo Zichuan. Luo Zichuan looked at the huge door, and his eyes were filled with grief. Are you going to fail at this stage? Patriarch, what's going on? Long Chen asked in a hurry. He didn't know where the problem was. You know, Luo Zichuan is a natural commander with wisdom like a sea of wisdom. He must have calculated countless times before and decided on such a big matter. Unexpectedly, he failed at the last moment. But Luo Zichuan did not answer, but quietly looked at the gate, as if thinking of something. Long Chen dare not disturb. He knew that Luo Zichuan was calculating the way to open the gate. An hour later, Luo Zichuan shook his head and sighed. Human resources are sometimes poor. Some things can't be solved by wisdom. Patriarch, what's the matter? You are trying to suffocate me. Long Chen held it for a long time and finally couldn't help it. If you change someone else, Long Chen would have been impatient, but in the face of his grandfather, Long Chen could not be presumptuous. I don't have enough purple blood to open this door. Maybe, all this is a certain number, which can't be reversed by manpower. Luo Zichuan sighed, his voice full of helplessness. If you find my mother, can you? The dragon dust tries away. Luo Zichuan shakes his head. Your mother, she has already stepped into the deity and can't enter here at all. Speaking of this, Luo Zichuan suddenly looks at Longchen. It is obvious that Longchen's mind has been seen through by Luo Zichuan. He just wants to ask about his mother's whereabouts. Longchen pretended to be innocent and then asked, if there is a strong purple blood person who uses purple blood with you, can we open this gate? Opening the door has nothing to do with whether the purple blood is strong or not, but the purity of purple blood. But among Luo people, no one can compare with me except your mother, and other purple blood have no idea of this secret. And even if it is the same as purple blood, not everyone is trustworthy, so there is no way. Let's go. This forbidden world can't stay too long, otherwise we won't find the entrance next time. Go out first and then think of a way back. Luo Zichuan slowly stood up to form. At this time, he seems to be much older. The figure is a little lonely. Patriarch, I have a way to open the gate. Can you give me a moment? Dragon Dust Road. Do you have a way? Seriously? Luo Zichuan looked at Longchen with some surprise. He knew that although Longchen was a bit reckless, he was still very reliable. He would not say anything that was uncertain. When he heard this, he suddenly came to the spirit. I'm 90% sure. Long Chen solemnly tunnel, Luo Zichuan failed. Long Chen thought of Long Outyin for the first time. As long as the dragon Ao day to catch blood, coupled with the purple blood of Luo Zichuan, you can certainly open this door. 90% sure? Well, let's try again. They'll wait for you here. However, I can only stay in the space for 3 months at most. If I stay for more than 3 months, the space will be turbulent. If you force me to stay, the space will be completely destroyed, and then you will never be able to enter again. Luo Zichuan rode. 3 months? That's enough. Tell him to put your heart in your stomach. At this time, the voice of the strong dragon clan sounded in the mind of Long Chen. After hearing this, the dragon dust agreed to it more. Patriarch, are there still many problems with my moves and fighting methods? I'm too far away from you with the same saber and strength. Long Chen couldn't help asking Luo Zichuan for advice. Just now, Luo Zichuan and Luo Zichuan killed those ancient demons, just like cutting melons and cutting vegetables. But Long Chen broke out with all his strength, and his strength was scattered, which made those big demons roll and fly back, but he could not cut the mess like Luo Zichuan. Long Chen knew that in the same realm he was much worse than Luo Zichuan. Stupid boy, you ask a Farda, his road is not suitable for you, don't waste time. Luo Zichuan hasn't spoken yet. The strong man of the dragon clan has already spoken. Luo Zichuan pondered for a while, shook his head and said, I pointed you before, now in retrospect, I have some regrets, in fact, I shouldn't have directed you. What? Long Chen was stunned. In this world there is no dress suitable for all people, and there is no trick suitable for all people. My way is not suitable for you. If you imitate me by force, it will be counterproductive. The energy in you is too great and too complex. I only need to control one power, and you need to control several. Although you can't concentrate your strength and your destructive power is limited, you have a large area of damage, a wide coverage, and a huge pressure on the space. In this way, you have a keen perception of the surrounding environment and have a great advantage in the chaotic group warfare. Moreover, your heart will never be quiet. This is the nature and no one can change it. Therefore, your fighting style is more suitable for you. My way of fighting can only be used for reference and reference. It's better not to imitate it. It's not good for you. Luo Zichuan rode. Luo Zichuan's words are in line with those of the strong dragon clan. Long Chen admires Luo Zichuan's control. It's like using the blade to pat or cutting with the blade. The blade clap has a wide range, but its lethality is not as good as that of the blade. However, after listening to the strong men of the dragon clan and Luo Zichuan, Long Chen had to give up for the time being. It seems that he can only study a suit of his own fighting style. Dragon dust, if you really have a way, let's go. We purple blood people, countless people, are trapped behind the giant gate. All this is for you. Luo Zichuan patted the shoulder of Dragon Dust. His face was solemn. Don't worry, Patriarch. It's up to me. Long Chen nods. He knows, this matter is Luo Zichuan's lifetime biggest wish. If he can do it, it will be enough to redeem his mother's crime. Luo Zichuan will forgive his mother, and the whole Luo family will forgive her. Their father and daughter can also erase the estrangement and reunite. Therefore Long Chen must do this. Luo Zichuan closed down in the Seal world, and Long Chen collected the corpses of those ancient demons. According to the mark left by Luo Zichuan, he walked out of the chaotic space and returned to the 3000 world from the space crack. Dragon Dust in this position made a mark, but also left an array disk, so as long as the distance is enough, he can transmit it. Right ahead. The strong of the dragon race. In which direction is Long Outyin? Long Chen asked. Now go to find Long Outyin. Are you looking for death? He has found the treasure land and began to absorb the chi of chaos. If you want to activate the power of colorful supreme blood and purple blood, you are not his opponent at all. I'm going to take you to my Dragon King scale. Only by integrating my Dragon King scale can you not be killed by those guys. The strong of the dragon race. But time. Everything is under control. It's too late. Stop talking nonsense and get going. Urged by the strong dragon people, Long Chen galloped away in the direction of the strong dragon clan. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3867 Boom. Dragon dust like a meteor across the void, behind the thunder wings emerge, speed to the extreme. As he galloped, he saw the distant, gushing out of the chaos, countless creatures are fighting madly, bloody battle. Looking like a volcanic eruption, straight into the sky of the chaotic gas, dragon dust really want to go to take a meal. As the dragon dust galloped, he found that there was more than one place where the chaotic gas gushed. He saw more than a dozen places. The scale of the gushing of these treasure lands is different. There are big and small gushing gas and chaotic gas pillars, only hundreds of zhang. However, some treasure lands are full of chaos, tens of thousands of miles in diameter. The larger the treasure land is, the more living creatures will gather and the competition will be more intense. From a distance, the dragon dust saw that there were creatures roaring and tearing the void, and they were fighting madly. Obviously, in order to fight for more chaotic chi, they all became crazy. Master, do I want to fight for some chaos first? Looking at the surging chaos of gas, dragon dust also some red eyes. The chi of chaos is the most primitive and pure power between heaven and earth. The more you absorb it, the more you control the power of heaven and earth, and the more affinity you have for the way of heaven. This is what he needs most. What's the use of this chaos? I tell you, the chaotic gas is just beginning to erupt and is in the initial stage. The quality and quantity of the chaotic gas are not very good. It is the best time to fight for chaos until the final stage. It is meaningless to compete with these small fish and shrimps. The strong of the dragon nationality disdain the tunnel. Listen to the strong dragon said so. Long Chen had to give up. No more words. Anyway, listen to it on the right. Dragon dust galloped all the way until the third day. There was less and less gushing in front of him. Especially on the last day, he could not see the breath of chaos. Finally, Long Chen couldn't help asking, Master, are you sure you didn't run in the wrong direction? We're not going to run to the edge. Don't talk nonsense. We'll be here soon. The strong people of the dragon nationality have no good manners. As soon as the voice of the strong man of the dragon clan fell, the blood essence inside the dragon dust began to heat up rapidly, as if it was about to start a pot. He felt a strong call. Just in front of Longchen, there was a large collapsed space, like a broken gate. Through the gate, Longchen saw a piece of barren land. When he got close to the gate, Longchen's heart leaped wildly. He saw countless bodies of giant dragons. The endless dragon spirit twined and the smoke was steaming. The skeletons loomed in the smoke. When close to the gate, the sacred dragon power is wrapped in the chaos and comes to us. In the soul of the dragon dust, the roar of the dragon rings. The sound seems to come from the ancient times, as if to separate the dragon dust from the reality and bring it into the ancient world. When the dragon dust came here, it has been found that countless creatures are crazy absorbing the dragon spirit here. Most of these creatures are creatures with the blood of the dragon family. They absorb the dragon spirit here to nourish their own flesh. There are also some creatures with special artifact to store dragon chi in containers. When the dragon dust arrived, he immediately attracted many creatures to be on guard against him, and even showed the intention of killing without any taboo. Some of them occupied their own territory, and those who dared to approach would be attacked by them. Damn it, it's not late. Long Chen's face changed. Looking around, there are endless dragon corpses lying on the ground. Many creatures have begun to draw their own territory. Leave them alone and move on. This is just the edge. The strong of the dragon race. The dragon dust continued to fly forward, because the dragon dust did not pay attention to the living creatures, nor did he mean to rob their territory. As Long Chen flew over their heads, they did not embarrass him. Hello, little brother. Stop. I'd like to give you half the territory. Dragon dust is galloping. Suddenly a woman with a big body and the first dragon horn shouts to Longchen. Don't pay any attention to her. She is a kind of Lilong in the branch of Panlong. They are greedy and want to mate with beautiful opposite sex, regardless of race. The strong man of the dragon nationality disdains the tunnel, obviously looks down upon this dragon nationality woman, even some disgusts. Long Chen saw that the woman's arms were as thick as his legs, and the full chest was like 2 big watermelons. When he looked at him, his saliva was about to flow out, and Long Chen's hair stood up, and he immediately sped up and flew away. "Master, aren't you dragon people very greedy?" Long Chen asked as he galloped. "Fart, who said that?" The strong man of the dragon clan said angrily. "It is said that the dragon gives birth to 9 sons, and the sons are different. They all mate with different creatures to give birth to different children. Is this all false?" Long Chen can't help asking. "Well, there are 3,000 big families of the dragon clan, and there are tens of millions of branches under it. Only those who are not strong enough will mate with other powerful creatures in order to improve their blood and get married with other races, but only to protect themselves. The real powerful race can only open up half of its own blood magic power at most. They can't finish studying their own tricks. They won't be greedy for the supernatural powers of other races. However, all the Longzhu who marry each other are not strong enough. Their living blood has reached the extreme. When they see the end of their practice and can't make a breakthrough, they will have mixed blood marriages with other living creatures. The sacred giant dragons in the dragon family are all transformed from snakes into boas, from boas to jiaos, from jiaowaling. Through thousands of risks, through thousands of calamities, step by step, they gradually have the power of holiness. The sacred dragon is the strongest among the dragon families. The dragon is known as the length of hundreds of scales, and the sacred dragon is the emperor of all dragons. The blood of the holy dragon is the most noble and sacred. How can it be self-indulgent and allow other creatures to defile the sacred blood? The strong of the dragon nationality disdain the tunnel. "Are you a sacred dragon?" Long Chen asked tentatively. "What do you say? Why do I help you? Isn't it because we had a similar experience?" They are from weak to strong, through countless difficulties and dangers, breaking through the shackles of blood and fire, and marching on the road of the strong step by step. So I tell you, Luo Zichuan's path of practice is not suitable for you. Not only his path, but also anyone's path, is not suitable for you. You have to constantly explore and accumulate in the bloody battle, and finally walk out a road that only you can walk. It is a unique road and a road that cannot be copied. The strong of the dragon nationality is meaningful. Long Chen nods in secret. The strong man of the dragon clan says that he has gone to his heart, not to mention Luo Zichuan. Even if it is the 9-star domineering formula, he has to find his own way. As the dragon dust moves forward, the dragon spirit in front of him becomes more and more powerful. The sound of dragon howling from heaven and earth comes one after another. These sounds are copied from the way of heaven and come from ancient times. They are full of vicissitudes of life, but also full of endless sadness and anger. All of a sudden, a fierce sound of dragon chanting came into his ears. When he looked up, he saw a golden dragon of tens of thousands of miles in front of him. It was like a golden mountain on the earth. The golden dragon of tens of thousands of miles looks up at the sky and roars up to the sky. Although it has been dead for many years, the terrible dragon power distorts the space around him for millions of miles. Long Chen was overjoyed. "Master, is this you? You fart? I'm not dead yet." The strong of the dragon clan are furious. Oh, I'm sorry." Long Chen apologized in a hurry. The pupil of dragon dust suddenly shrinks. He suddenly sees a figure on the top of the golden dragon. Someone even takes the first step. When Long Chen saw the man's face clearly, the man also saw him. When he saw him, his face was distorted in an instant, and the scar on his face was as ferocious as a centipede. "Long Chen, without Xia Guhong, I can see how arrogant you are." www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. Chapter 3868 Long Qinyan. What Long Chen didn't expect was that this man was a contemporary opponent of Xia Guhong. At first, in Xiantiandu, Long Chen slapped him in the face, and after that, Yu Qingxian arrived, and Long Chen ignored him. Later, he was furious, and Long Chen led his power to the Duke Wei, who hated him. As a result, the blow made him suffer a great loss. Although the two did not really fight each other, Long Qinian, with the power of dragon blood, had amazing fighting power. In his time, no one was his opponent except Xia Guhong. Long Chen didn't expect to meet him here. Looking at him with a murderous look on his face, Long Chen disdained to say, "I've been arrogant for a day or two. What's the relationship with Xia Guhong? It's you. But my face doesn't hurt again?" Long Qinian was very angry. He thought that he had been slapped in the face by the dragon dust. The murderous gas was ignited like a volcano. He yelled in a loud voice, "Dragon dust, come to die. Son of a bitch, it seems that you have recovered the scar and forgotten the pain. If you don't beat your excrement today, I think your steel door is strong enough." In the face of Long Qinian's provocation, of course, Long Chen does not accept him. He deliberately uses Luo Qingying's death to stimulate Xia Guhong, which is extremely despicable. Long Chen wanted to smoke him at that time. Now comes the opportunity. Boom! Long Qinian held a long gun and pointed at Long Chen from afar. He held a commanding position and said, "Don't talk nonsense, come up to fight. Don't pay any attention to him. Business matters. Go around." The dragon dust is just about to rush past, but the strong one of the dragon clan says, Isn't our goal the golden dragon?" Long Chen was stunned. What a fart. It's not a sacred dragon. Besides, I'm not dead. How can I leave a corpse? Your brain is broken? The strong man of the dragon clan cursed. When Long Chen patted his forehead, he was frightened by the breath of the giant dragon in front of him, thinking that this was the legacy of the strong man of the dragon clan. "Son of a bitch, you wait for me and I'll come back to deal with you." Long Chen is very obedient. He doesn't pay attention to Dragon Qinian, bypasses the dragon and continues to fly forward. "Coward, are you running away?" Long Qinian roared when he saw that Long Chen had gone. "Idiot, if you have the seed, come and fight with me." Long Chen sneered. He is not a fool. He can see at a glance that this guy is absorbing the energy of the dragon. Now he must be unable to leave the dragon for some special reason, so he let the dragon dust go to fight with him. "You are a coward and a coward. You are as useless as your big brother Xia Guhong." Long Qinian scolded. "Cut it, do you curse women? I don't care about you." Dragon dust disdains the tunnel, and suddenly he finds that there is a giant dragon in the distance. He suddenly understands that the feeling of this guy is greedy enough, and he wants to stop him from touching other dragons. Xia Guhong is a waste, and you are a waste. If Xia Guhong's lover is killed, you must be no better. Long Qinian continued to curse. Long Chen's face suddenly changed, and his body stopped in the void. Looking back at Long Qinian, his killing intention spread in an instant. Long Qinian's words suddenly touched the scales of dragon dust. This guy has been handed down by the Ghost Fox and Evil Dragon Clan. He is cunning and despicable. He wants to use the dragon corpse under him to lay a trap and wait for you to die. So, don't pay any attention to him. Go and get my scales and clean him up later. The strong of the dragon race advised. Dragon dust gnashing teeth to look at Long Qinian Wei. "Mouth is really cheap. Next time, I will tear your mouth." When Long Chen finished, he directly closed down the six senses, so as not to be challenged by Long Qinian. In case he killed him in a rage, he might not have gained enough. Long Chen continued to move forward, and soon saw the second dragon corpse tens of thousands of miles, which was also the body of a dragon king. Although he had been dead for many years, his qi and blood were still abundant, and the dragon power did not disperse, which made people dare not look closely. There are 3 heads. When I saw the second dragon, I was surprised to see a huge figure in the distance. A total of 18 Archean dragon kings, they formed a circle, go to the core the strong of the dragon race. Long Chen was surprised that there were 18 Archean dragon kings here. He thought of the soldiers of the dragon blood army. "Don't worry. After imprinting the soul mark on my scale, you can call them. Otherwise, they will not receive the signal from such a long distance." The strong man of the dragon clan seems to know Longchen's mind. Flying along the direction of the strong point of the dragon clan, Longchen soon saw a golden sun. The golden light pierced into the sky and lit up the world. Although Longchen knew that the scale of the strong of the dragon clan must be amazing, he still didn't expect to be so shocked. Against the scale thousands of miles, floating in the void, around the chaotic air flow, forming a huge protective layer, the scale will be protected in it. However, when we came to the front of the scale, the terrible power gradually appeared. However, there was no sound of dragon chanting or violent shockwave. It was very calm, but in the calm, there was hidden the power to destroy the world. It seems to be in a deep sleep. Once it is awakened, no one knows what will happen. When the dragon dust was close to him, his body was tingling, his chi and blood were surging, and he kept drilling out, and the golden blood was oozing from the skin. This what's going on? Dragon dust was shocked. Don't be afraid. The Dragon King's blood essence in your body is the blood of my descendants. Although it is weak, it belongs to the same origin. The blood level of our dragon clan is very strict. If you see my real dragon blood, it will automatically withdraw from your body. The golden dragon blood spilled from the dragon dust, forming a golden chain, like a golden long dragon, winding away to the dragon scale. The strong man of the dragon clan continued, "At the beginning, I asked you to take the dragon scale to prepare for today. With this dragon blood, it can be used as a bridge to wake up my dragon scale." Dragon blood in the body of dragon dust kept pouring out. Soon dragon dust began to see stars, and people became very weak. His dragon blood would be drained. In his body, 8 blood-colored chains gushed out and went straight to the dragon scale. Just when the dragon dust felt that he was going to faint, the 8 chains finally crossed the boundary of the chaotic chi and put on the dragon scale. When the 8 blood chains were attached to the dragon scale, the 8 chains burned instantly, the dragon dust uttered a painful hum, and the blue veins on the forehead burst out in an instant. While the essence of blood was burning, the soul was also burning. But Longchen knew that this was the only way to wake up the dragon scale, and he could only bear it. Suddenly, the silent dragon scale trembled slightly, and then countless runes on the dragon scale lit up. At that moment, the space around the dragon scale began to crack. Imprint your soul quickly. Don't break the boundary of chaos, or you will attract all the people in the 3000 world. The strong of the dragon race. Reminded by the strong man of the dragon clan, the dragon dust, who was already in a semi-comatose state, awoke in an instant. His hands were sealed, and the power of soul poured into the dragon scales. www.novelhold.com, the fastest update of the web novel. You're tuning in to the Passion Pages YouTube channel. We're so grateful for your support, and don't forget to subscribe to join us on this incredible journey through captivating stories. Your generosity through donations truly makes a world of difference, as it's the primary source of revenue that allows me to expand and enhance this channel for you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a part of this adventure.